Yo.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello, you are listening to the 365 Flicks podcast. We are back with our regular Sodding Smuggler
it's been a while.
episode. It has been a little while.
It has.
A wee while. You've had all the AIDS and stuff. And
Yes, I've been very much ill.
I am the Scottish Sweden whore, Chris.
And I am the pissy ex-video store clerk, Kev. But Chris, we can't go on until you've done something for me.
What?
You know.
My knees are sore, man.
Will you be my Susie Poo?
I will not.
We're gonna get to that because that was refreshingly awesome. But we will get to that. How you been?
I'm okay. I'm
Good,
alright.
good, man,
I've
good,
been on
man.
a cheeky holiday this week.
Oh, so you have? Yes, you have.
It's been quite good, I won't lie.
I had 2 days off. I had 2 bedridden days off.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
It doesn't really, no, not at all. What did you do with your holidays? Did you go anywhere? Gibraltar, Malta?
Both.
Spain?
Both.
Benidorm?
All of them.
All of
No,
them.
none of them. No, I went up to Bigger.
What's that?
It's a town in Scotland.
Is it next to smaller? Okay.
On Monday,
Jason's
and
laughing.
on the way back home, I saw
A prostitute.
Spiderman Far From Home, which I will be talking about now in a
Not
minute.
what I was expecting.
Not a prostitute.
Not a prostitute.
No, never that. And it's been a bit of a mixed bag because the weather's been utter shite.
It has been, hasn't it? It's not been great. I mean,
So
that is just Scotland for you.
I did a lot of stuff in the garden. Got all the ivy,
Your garden, you mean your little patch of grass?
fake grass,
You,
Kev,
you have like a 2x2 stretch of grass.
and it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not doing the gardening.
it's outside,
Okay.
and it's a garden.
Okay.
So shut the fuck up.
I'll let you off.
I cut back all the ivy and that
Mm-hmm.
because it was all overgrown and thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it like poison ivy?
It was not. It was
Damn.
not. That would be stupid. So that was Thursday and Friday. 'Cause it was a right ball ache. Won't
Oh.
lie. And yeah, it's been quite a nice, relaxing week. It's my first proper holiday in 100,000 years.
Wow.
So I know. So I was ready for it, and yeah, it's been a good week.
Good, man. I think the weeks where you accomplish literally nothing apart from cutting your ivy in your fake grass garden, those weeks are often the best weeks.
They are.
Yeah, I consider them wins.
And I was playing South Park on the
Oh, well, of course.
PlayStation,
Of course.
and,
yeah.
and doing fair amount of day drinking.
Well, that is the
Part
other
of the
part
course,
of
isn't
that. That is the other best part of a holiday where you do nothing but cut your fake grass ivy. That is,
Why are you calling it fake grass ivy?
because I don't know, it just sounds like a country song.
I'm gonna say now we're playing the fake grass ivy.
I'll be alright with that. I've had a pretty up and down shit week. Basically, I've been ill as I explained before. I'll apologise to the listeners now if you hear some random coughing. I will be doing my best to edit that shit out, but you might catch the odd little bit of me coughing up the cancer AIDS. But I'm better now.
Jesus.
I was having fever dreams. You know what I had? I had a dream, right? Well, it wasn't really a dream because I don't know if I was awake or asleep. But what I did was, I took a fair amount of pills, like not like bad pills, like medicine pills.
Mm-hmm.
So I took like a couple of Flu Plus, I took a couple of dihydrocodeines, and a couple of cocodamols. Easy to say. So I took them. Like I took all like 6 pills. I washed it down with a splash of vodka and coke. Took them. Thought to myself, right, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up feeling fucking epic. You know, yeah, I kind of lay there in bed, and you know when you sort of like just have your arm flayed out across the bed, and you just kind of look at your arm, and you're just looking at your arm, and all of a sudden the letters that are on your arm start talking to you and moving and stuff. That wasn't happening. I was looking at my arm, and I realised that I couldn't really feel my arm very much. It was just sort of lying there like a lead weight. But then what I actually realised was I wasn't looking at my arm. I was looking at me looking at my arm.
Oh, fuck me.
I was in like this fever state of like man flu-ish, because we'll just call it man flu, that's what it was. And I was sort of stood at the side of my bed looking at me, like just looking at my arm and thinking to myself, you better not go to sleep because you've taken that many pills. There's a good chance you won't wake up. So I was telling myself not to fall asleep. I mean, long story short, I fell asleep. I woke up, I was fine. But for a minute there, I was telling myself not to.
That's a fucked up dream.
It's a fever dream. It's like, I'm not sure if it was a dream because I don't know if I was asleep. I was definitely well aware that I shouldn't be going to sleep. But yeah, like I say, long story short, it was good. Yeah, that was my story. And another side note to that story is the fact that it didn't make me feel any better at all. I woke up feeling shit.
And tired because you hadn't been sleeping.
And tired because I hadn't been sleeping, because I'd been fucking standing watching myself trying to fall asleep. I know, right?
That's messed up.
It is messed up, but I mean, at the time, to be perfectly honest, it felt pretty great at the time. Like, because I was in outer space, basically. And I woke up and I thought to myself, oh, well, Lindsay's at work, the girls are at school and all that. I'm going to have to go downstairs and let the dogs out. So I get out my bed and I walks down the stairs. I was stotting off the walls because I was still highly high, basically. So I'm stotting off the walls. I think I got to like the second last step and I was like, you know what, it's not fucking worth it. And I just turned back around and went back upstairs. More to that story is the dogs pissed and shat all over the living room. Mm-hmm. They didn't do that. They could have done that, but they didn't. I mean, I would not have held it against them if they had done that, because I didn't let them out when I should have. But I just had to go back to bed because I thought if I go any further, I'm probably going to land on my face.
Pugger.
Yeah, it was good though. Feel much better now. Kind of. Played football this morning.
How do you know you're not still like in bed?
And I've just
looking at your arm,
and I've just sent myself down here to record. You
was like, oh, and then you've been living as the other you for the last 2 or 3 days.
Maybe I've like multiplicity'd myself. Remember that Michael Keaton movie? That was a class film. That Michael Keaton Multiplicity. What a film that was. But no, I'm definitely here. Are you sure? I feel like I am. Yeah. And best thing about like having man flu and stuff, you end up with a sexy fucking voice. Like I've got right now. I kind of sound like Barry White right now. By the way, that sounds better in the headphones. You should put the headphones on. It sounds awesome. So yeah, we have got a jam-packed show coming up for you tonight. Would you like to tell the good listeners what it is we have coming up?
Why not? Yeah, so we are going to be talking about a bit of news. We've got a fair bit.
Mm-hmm.
We have a top 5 that I was going to put on Facebook earlier on, but I forgot. It is top 5 TV cliffhangers.
Get on with this one, all right?
I did. Well, I've not got 5. I've got like 10.
Oh, I've got 5.
So it can be a season finale cliffhanger or a 2-parter cliffhanger, whichever way you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy with my list. I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with mine.
Yeah. We are going to be talking about Good Omens.
Yeah.
Just the pilot.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about that. We are going to be talking. What else are we going to be talking about?
We've got news. We've got just the pilot Good Omens. We've got the top 5. The career highlights of one Stephen Spielberg.
That's right.
That you chose the last episode. And what have we been watching, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You been watching much?
A couple of things.
You've been off, so you should have been.
Not really.
No. Oh, sucks.
Meh, be fine.
But before we go on, you have got a job to do.
I think we should let you do it tonight, to be honest.
No, that's a bad idea. Because when I say I took like 6 pills the other day before I went to bed, I took a few before I came up here as well. So let's just have you.
So I'll take that extra can of Manders off you.
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that! It makes it all the better.
So we we want everybody to look for the 365 Flicks podcast on the Facebook and the Twitters. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and follow and all those social media-y things. I believe I understand that we're also on this thing called Instagram.
Yeah, we're on the gram.
Oh, don't be such a prick.
I'm always gramming. Every day I'm gramming, and it's not a word.
Get out.
Nobody says that.
Leave.
Nobody says that. I made it up. Get out. Leave. Right now. It's a JoJo song.
Fuck is JoJo?
I don't know.
Anyway. Look for us on the Spotify. You can follow us or subscribe to us or whatever the hell you do on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to like us and leave a cheeky 5-star review on there as well. We are on any other third-party podcatching app that you can get on your phone or what have you as well. And if you do subscribe to us, then, you know, and you do leave a cheeky 5-star review, we will probably not read it out.
I mean, we'll
plan to.
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'll get a nice email telling me you left it, and
you'll go, oh.
I'll go, oh, you. You know what somebody asked me this week? I pretty much laughed in their face. This is a ridiculous question to be asked. I was asked by someone who started listening to the podcast. So this is
did you get noticed? Recognised?
No. Somebody who started listening to the podcast, probably shouldn't tell this story because they might stop listening. But came up to me and asked why we weren't on SoundCloud.
What the shit is that?
It's a fucking gay app that millennials use and hipsters use, and like if you want to make it as a mumble rapper nowadays, you put your music up on SoundCloud and you become SoundCloud famous, and yeah, it's full of assholes. So my answer was no self-respecting podcast would be on SoundCloud. If you are a self-respecting podcast and you're on SoundCloud, I do apologise, but have a bit more respect for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like Stitcher, but way more gayer. Interestingly, you can find us on Stitcher. Did you say Nerdly? We're on Nerdly.
No,
Nerdly.
I didn't do the networks.
You do the networks, no.
Aye.
I stopped you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, ignorant. You can also find us on SoundCloud. Sorry.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Don't look
I'm
cross
just
there.
waiting on you swallowing now.
Do not look no.
Guns. As well as a few cheeky networks. We are on the Tangibout Network. We are on the Wicked Radio Network. We Be Geeks are British home. Nerdly.co.uk, motherfuck. Hashtag Border Family, hashtag Brit Scene. I may have forgotten some, but I'm pretty happy with how that went. So.
I'm not going to pull you up on anything, so let's just let's roll with the new. Before we get into the news, though, we've got some pretty cool news. Mr. Tom Payton, Fright Fest in August. Stairs is being premiered.
Yeah.
We going?
When is it?
I just said August. I don't know when in August.
August the something.
Yeah. Tom did pretty much say that we had to go because we are in it. So I told him I would get my suit and my waistcoat. I'll wear my waistcoat again, looking like a Dapper Dan.
Your waistcoat?
Aye. Remember, I looked like a total fucking sex god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
You fully wanted to give me your hole. But, yeah, so Stairs is premiering at Fright Fest in August, which is going to be awesome. 24 Little Hours, Paul Knight's movie, has been picked up by a company called Kaleidoscope. So we can expect...
I read that, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I can't wait for that. So we can expect to see that late 2019, early 2020, but right now it's kind of doing the rounds on some festivals and whatnot, so it's doing well. We'll keep an eye on that. Chris Johnson, we had him on the Indie Talk. Great episode.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that episode. But yeah, that's a couple of interesting projects that are finally coming to fruition, and we're going to get to see them on the big screen, so that's pretty fucking awesome.
It is.
When we're seeing yours on the big screen?
I don't know, producer. When you want to...
Oh, you're going to hit me with that,
get that shit sorted out.
I told you I should have been put down as, like, script advisor. I did tell you that.
Don't make me laugh. You could fucking... I don't know.
Script advise myself out of a paper
you could
bag?
advise a script into a piss bucket.
Okay,
I don't know where that
was good.
came from.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
I'm going to give that one 4.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'll tell you what. Let's go on to the news.
We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled podcast in just a minute. But we wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake on this highly produced advertisement.
That's right. It's the History of Bad Ideas, a.k.a. Hobie. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast and on Facebook at the History of Bad Ideas. But if you like a podcast roundtable with 3 to 5 guests, usually every week, depending on sick leave, talking about all things geek, including movies,
TV.
I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Blake bitching about something and ranting, and comic books and anything else that we can think of. We have a top 5 list every week, along with a box office news, and somehow we have listeners, so they send us some feedback we answer every week. You can find us on iTunes,
Stitcher,
Facebook.
Spotify,
and any good podcast app, because if you can't find us on that podcast app, it's not a good podcast app.
damn straight. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Are you ready for the first bit of news?
Hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot.
Okay.
Doot.
So, we're all fancy schmancy tonight.
Yeah, we've got post-it notes.
Yeah, I know, right? No, we've got digital post-it notes.
Oh, digital post-it notes.
Don't diss my post-it notes on my computer.
Okay. Digital
Bastard.
post-it notes.
Ryan Reynolds
Yes, I know
Has
them.
joined Dwayne the Fuck Johnson and Gal Gadot in Red Notice, which is a Netflix production which is going to be costing all the money in the world, apparently.
All the money in the world. Is it though?
Apparently they got into a bidding war with Universal.
Oh,
And they lost. Netflix lost.
Oh, Netflix lost.
Yeah, to
Wow.
Universal. And then Universal kind of went,
Read the script.
you know that thing that we were going to do that we beat you at? Yeah, we're not going to do that now. So it's costed about 130 million to make. So yeah, the movie's called Red Notice.
Awesome.
And it's said to be a globe-trotting action heist thriller,
Ooh.
which will feature Dwayne Johnson as an Interpol employee.
Obviously.
He can be an Interpol employee.
Well,
Don't question
I
me.
think anything of any kind of like government role, Dwayne the Rock Johnson's playing it. Like he always seems to be these like FBI, CIA.
Tangent. Have you seen the trailer for Jumanji?
I haven't. No,
It looks fucking great.
It's going to be great anyway. I don't need to see trailers for that movie. I'm gonna
I think
watch
you
it.
should. I think you should.
Okay,
It does look very, very good.
I will.
I think
I'll
it's
watch
going to
it.
be good. So The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson, if you will, is an Interpol employee dealing with a red notice, the most serious of all the notices that an agency can issue.
So is this a comedy or do we know anything else? Is this
That's it.
just a comedy? Action thriller. Gal Gadot. I'll watch it.
It'll be a thriller.
I'll watch it. It's got
Yeah.
Gal Gadot in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is lovely.
Screen Gems
Screen Gems. Okay.
is looking to reboot. Look Who's Talking.
Yeah, you can fucking have this.
They were not good films.
Why on earth are they rebooting this? This is like, yeah. This
I remember
is.
the first one had its moments.
Did
but
it though?
That was like the 80s or whatever.
I feel like when you're watching a movie about babies that can talk, and it still sounds like Bruce Willis could not give a fuck about being in this movie, that's when you know you've got a bad movie.
Yeah.
Because even back then when he was doing voiceovers, he ain't giving a fuck about this movie. This is a paycheck. I don't want... honestly, I'm not going to watch it if they reboot it. I don't really care. The first two... Well, this was the one about the dogs as well, wasn't there?
Yeah,
So there's like 3. Look Who's Talking then?
Look Who's Talking Now.
There was Look Who's Talking...
Look Who's Talking, Look Who's Talking 2.
And Look Who's Talking Now.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. So, like, all those movies were trash. Rosie O'Donnell, like, playing the girl baby in the second film, utter trash. Keep those movies. Keep your reboot. I'm not watching it.
And plus, like, from what I remember, John Travolta's character was a complete fucking hoormeister in it.
He was a dick. He was an absolute
Cheated on
bellend.
Kirstie Alley, the bastard.
I mean, how could you do that? It's
I
Kirstie
know.
Alley, for fuck's sake.
Exactly.
Only Sam Malone gets to do that.
Blimey.
Cheers reference.
I got it.
I know you got it.
Bit of Sherlock Holmes 3 news.
Yes, I saw this.
Yeah.
Who's doing it?
Dexter Fletcher is doing it.
Have you seen Rocket Man yet?
No, I've not. No, I've not.
Yeah.
I will see it when it comes to Sky or whatever. I'm not really.
It's okay.
Me. So yeah, Dexter Fletcher is going to be directing the third installment, which means no Guy Ritchie.
It's a good. I don't know, because like, when I look at Guy Ritchie's movies, like they're probably some of the only ones that are good.
Although to be fair, I would agree. When Guy Ritchie is like not doing all that Cockney geezer white boy shite, he is okay.
He's not bad.
I mean, the Sherlock Holmes 2, where they're running through the forest and the shells are tearing apart the forest. That's incredible.
It's pretty good.
And there are some good moments in the first one as well. But yeah, I am excited for the new Sherlock Holmes. I think that we should have had a new movie well before now.
I think I'm Dexter Fletcher. He is a good director. What he did to bring Bohemian Rhapsody, like finally get it out and stuff, was obviously like from what they say, he restructured the whole thing. So he did a fantastic job there. I loved that movie. I quite like Wild Bill. You didn't like Wild Bill when we did it for the rewatch episode ways back. Will Poulter is a young kid. And
yeah, fuck that movie.
You weren't keen on that. I really enjoyed that movie. He did that as well. So yeah, I'll give him a chance. Sherlock 3, I don't know if I'm that fussed anyway, but I'll give it a go.
Fair enough. It's set for release in December 2021.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Let's see, what else we got? So, quick one. Paul Rudd has joined the cast of Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, whatever.
Or Ghostbusters 2020, I think it is. Is
that what they're going with, 2020?
I don't know what the fuck they're going with. It's got most of the cast of the original proper cast. The ones who are still alive, obviously. Yeah. Interested?
I don't know. It's another one I'll watch when it comes out. I will.
Yeah.
I will see it, but I ain't gonna rush to the cinema and see it.
I think, I don't know. It's got potential, maybe. But
do you not think it's maybe just past due? Like it's
well, they should have done that shit instead of the Ghostbusters.
See, but even then, I like that. I like the girl one.
Yeah, but the moment to do that with the original cast and everything was then.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Instead of doing this movie where I'm the same as you. I didn't hate the movie. It's not. The movie didn't deserve the fucking horse shit that it got.
Yeah, it got a lot of bile thrown at it.
It did not deserve that. But I think that the time to do that was then.
Then, yeah. Instead of now.
Even if you do a passing of the torch to the new team or whatever the fuck.
And is it not meant to be like all the kids and stuff? Because Mike from Stranger Things, he's also in it. Finn Wolfhard.
Right.
He's also been cast, and I'm sure it's like something to do with like some of the kids, or which doesn't fill me full of hope.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. We will. Well, not discounting it. Neil Blomkamp.
Yes.
Is developing RoboCop.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not a lot of information about it yet, but he has confirmed that the proper RoboCop suit will return. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with seeing Neil Blomkamp have a blast at that.
Would rather have seen Aliens.
Yes, I would definitely rather have seen Aliens.
But Ridley Scott fucked that.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Because he's a dick. But he is, let's be honest.
Yeah, a little bit. Neil Gaiman has I take it. Yeah, so it's The Sandman.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I have never read. If truth be told.
Yeah, it's like a dark sort of comic graphic novel thing.
So it's by Vertigo.
Well, yeah, aye, standard. Apparently it's really good. Like it has a pretty huge following. I don't know anything about Sandman, so I can't really chime in on that. But having spoilers for later on, we're doing just the pilot of Good Omens, and Neil Gaiman wrote the original content for that. It was Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett wrote together.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that in the opening.
So like,
credits.
After having watched that, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm open to whatever else he's got in his toolbox.
Fair enough. So it's going to be a TV series on Netflix.
Fucking Netflix, man.
I know.
Everything's Netflix.
Well, see, no, it's not. No, it's not. Because the next big streaming service that's going to be coming along is the Warner Media one.
Oh, is this HBO Max or something?
Is that what it's being called?
They've given it like some random name for like 20 different channels or something.
See, I
like
don't
that.
know if we're going to get that here in the UK. Probably not.
I think we'll get a watered down version of it.
But then all the HBO stuff here is on Sky Atlantic because they have like a partnership with
Sky Atlantic.
Sky Atlantic.
So we'll get Sky Atlantic Max.
So we don't need Sky Atlantic Max. Just go to the fucking box sets.
Yeah, we've got Sky Go.
That's for everything though.
Yeah.
That's not a streaming service.
Is it not? I
that's
don't know
part
what
of
Sky Go is. They just keep trying to tell me to take it. I don't want it. You can keep it.
Sky Go is just basically that's what it says on the tin. You can get it on your phone and go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can Sky Go.
Yeah, you can wash your hair with Wash and Go and then put Sky on with Sky Go.
So what's happening with this Warner Media?
I've got no idea. So they have ordered a 10-episode run of Gremlins Secrets of Mogwai.
This animated series, I heard about this, yeah.
I'm interested.
Are you?
Yeah,
Are you
not?
really?
Why not? I would watch it.
Why not just give us
Eventually.
another Gremlins movie?
That's not going to happen. They'll fuck it up though.
Yeah, they will.
So the show is going to centre on the K Luke's shop owner, Mr. Wing.
From the start?
Aye, from the 1984 film and its sequel. So it's going to be based in there.
That's mental.
I'm interested in that.
So it's like a little shop of horrors for Gremlins. Yeah.
The only thing is, how much do you do with that?
Well,
How much can you do with that?
animated, so you can do whatever you want.
Okay. You'll I think like this one. Zack Snyder is back.
Yes. What's he doing?
With his writing partner Jay Oliva.
Okay, yeah.
They have co-created an anime series for Netflix again, and it's going to be set in the world of Norse mythology.
Okay.
That's all we know at the moment.
Anything with that man's name on, I'm going to watch.
It's good to see him back.
It is good to see him back. He should be back in a different way, but I'm happy to see him back.
Yeah. That's not going to happen now.
Nah.
Would you go back after that bullshit that went on?
What do you mean?
Would you go back to if Warner Brothers said, "Oh yeah, you know that all that shit that happened where we fucked you over and got Joss Whedon in to finish the movie that we screwed you out of. Would you like to come back and make another film?"
Look at James Gunn though. It's what Disney did to him. He went back.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same. Like, no, it's 100%. It's not the same thing. But he went back. Personally, I don't think Snyder would go back. Not a chance.
No.
I don't think he would do it because he was royally screwed. And I genuinely believe the whole story about his daughter, because his daughter had passed away. Or was it his son?
It was his daughter.
His daughter.
I think, yeah.
She'd committed suicide, hadn't she? And then he went off. He took some time off for that. I believe it was them that decided to use that story as the reason he walked off. I don't think he would have used that, and I think that's probably what would stop him coming back. Because that story, as heartbreaking as it was, and a good reason to walk out of your job, a good reason to sort of take some time out. I mean, God forbid that ever happened to any of us or anything like that. You would walk out of your job, but I genuinely believe that's not the reason he would have used, and they went for it. And,
Yeah.
I don't like it, and that's why I think he won't step back with them.
But then that was just
Not for that
another
universe.
example of all the shite that they were
Yeah, they was
going
slinging
on
shit
there.
all over.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrible. But
Yeah.
I would love to see him come back to the DCU, EU, whatever the fuck that is nowadays. I don't know what it is now. I would like to see him come back to it because I think for a comic book movie, if you want as close to the material as you can possibly get, he is the man to do it. And I would love to see him do it again. It's not going to happen though.
No, it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So this series is going to be centered around Asgard. Asgard, but it's not anything to do with Marvel. Everybody gets excited. Yeah, but like I say,
That would be a coup though, eh? If it's like, oh, Zack Snyder's not working on superhero movies anymore. Oh, no, wait, he's at Marvel now.
And fuck yourself.
Wow, I would love to see a Zack Snyder Marvel movie. Fuck me.
Oh, that would be outrage.
Could you imagine how dark it would be?
No way in hell that would happen. Next, Blumhouse is getting into a sequel of 2018's Halloween.
Yeah, I read this. Leave that shit now. Leave that shit alone. Did you watch the remake or sequel or whatever it is?
It was meh. It was okay.
It was a movie. I'll give it that.
It was alright. Meh.
For me, it ticked boxes. It ticked Halloween boxes. It did everything it needed to do. But that last 10-15 minutes is fucking retarded. And we don't need that shit.
Is that where they lure him into the house?
Yeah, they lure him into the house. They go in the basement, out the basement, in the basement, out the basement, in the basement, out the basement, in the basement, out the basement. And it's just like, oh my Christ, man, can we just get out of this house? Please.
Yeah. I think they did a good job in it, in sort of setting up Jamie Lee Curtis's character of how the whole thing from like whatever 40 years ago, however long ago it was, fucked her up and everything.
Yeah, she was like a total recluse and
then her kids. And that was good. I liked that.
That was good. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I would probably watch this new one, but it wouldn't be until it came to Sky Cinema.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Next. Now then.
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, let's fuck on here.
Have announced their Ariel.
They have.
For the Little Mermaid remake or reboot or reimagine or whatever the hell you're going to call it. Halle Bailey, who I've got no idea who she is.
I think she's just like some singer.
Just like a sort of Disney kid singer
like a
type.
Disney singer Broadway thing. Like I don't think she's really done anything yet. But
I got this from Den of Geek, and it said she's she's pretty much unknown, which is fine. She's got an amazing voice, which you would expect if she's going to be playing Ariel.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
I quite honestly don't really have an opinion on this. The thing right now is I'm just sick of all this Disney shit. All this live action in their films and stuff like that. We now have in the cinemas right now, in the theaters, we now have a live action remake of The Lion King, which is actually just a better animated version of an animation. Yeah. It's not live action. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. There are no human characters in this movie.
Yeah,
it is completely 1,000,000% CG. It's animated. It's a fucking animation. But we're supposed to look at it and talk about it like it's fucking live action, but that's beside the point. Like Cinderella the last year, Beauty and the Beast the year before. Yeah, it might have been the year before that. There's just fucking live action in all these movies, and I don't see why they're doing it.
I mean, I watched the Beauty and the Beast, and
it was horseshit.
It was.
It was absolutely horseshit. It
had absolutely no charm.
They turned Emma Watson into the blandest plank of wood they could find and it just annoyed the living piss out of me. But you know what? They keep making billions upon billions of dollars off this shit.
Well, it's part nostalgia, part... Fuck it, we'll just take the kiss to see this film.
Yeah, there is that. there is that as well. But I think what you're getting at, and I've seen it as well on the Facebook and the Twitter and all that. People are up in arms about the fact that we have a black Ariel, and personally, again, like I say, I'm not going to watch this movie, so I don't really have an opinion on who the fuck plays Ariel. I do think it's pretty fucking stupid though. Like this whole, like, the vitriol that's coming out again. It's the Leslie Jones syndrome being in Ghostbusters.
Aye,
it's the Scarlett Johansson being cast as Ghost in the Shell.
Have you read the rumour of who's going to be playing Ursula?
Shit, yes. It's Melissa McCarthy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, people want to be fucking up in arms about that shit.
Oh my god. Although, here's maybe a little bit of a shining light in it, is Terry Crews wants to play Sebastian.
Awesome. All day long.
I would watch that.
All day.
Just make that
what?
movie. Just make that.
That might get me in the fucking...
Give Terry Crews a Sebastian spin-off movie.
Yeah, aye. But what do you think about all this fucking internet shit? Like, it's the internet as usual. They've always got something to say, and they seem to be saying it pretty fucking loud.
You know what? I'm so fucking sick of this bullshit.
Yeah.
I really am. We're going to be talking about a movie that we've both seen since we last recorded. And I'm just so sick of this shit. It's fucking 2019.
Where does it end?
And you know that it's been there's been like a load of like World Pride things, festivals and that, and so there have been, you know, pride t-shirts and everything showing up on, you know how you like this Facebook sales pages and stuff like that, or the marketing, and you see people doing the angry face because there was one I saw of like a black and white Simba with a rainbow behind him. It's like, and there was people doing angry faces. Calm the fuck down. How can you have this much negative fucking energy? It's so fucking depressing. I'm not engaging with it anymore. I refuse to even look at it. Fucking make your bloody Little Mermaid movie with whoever the hell you want to. And if you don't like it, don't go and see it.
Exactly.
Don't take your kids to it. Ignore the trailers when it comes out. Don't buy the socks with the motherfucking cocksucking fucking rainbows on it. Mm-hmm. Ignore it. Fucking ignore it, and you won't be bothered with it. How about fucking that?
This is what I love about it right now, is that the fact that we as like a 2019's society and stuff like that, we can no longer just ignore things we don't like. We have to have an opinion. We have to fucking ram that shit down people's throat. And you know what? Sometimes I'm guilty as well. I'm guilty of like some people I know that like things that I think are utter shite, and I'll tell them it's utter shite. Like, I'm just like, you know what? It's utter shite. But I'm not thinking it's upper shite. It's utter shite because it should be a white person doing it, or it should be a fucking whatever doing it. Like, I could not give a fuck about that shit. Like, the whole thing, like I say, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson being cast in Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is like an animation that I adore, manga that I just absolutely adore. And when they cast Scarlett Johansson, I'll be completely honest, I was never going to watch it because a live action remake of that movie I don't need. No, I don't need it in my life. Like, I've got Ghost in the Shell. It's a masterpiece part of manga. And then they're like, right, we're casting Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, you know what? Pretty fucking good choice. Ain't gonna watch it, but good fucking choice. You know, and it's like, why can't we just not watch it, but not ram the bile and the shit down people's throat?
It's entitlement, and you know, people sort of think because they've got a voice on Facebook or whatever the fuck.
I mean, we've said that on the last few episodes. Fan entitlement has just fucking gone through the roof, and there's too much of it. And I'm not saying it's ruining pop culture, but it's certainly shitting all over it. It's making the true fans, like yourself, like myself, like the millions of people out there who are true fans of this shit, it's making us all look extremely bad. And I shouldn't look to be like an asshole because I like a fucking superhero movie. But this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's just mental.
And, you know, going back to that poor lass who was hounded off of
Leslie
Twitter.
Jones, yeah.
No, not Leslie Jones. Rose from Last Jedi.
Yeah,
whose
man.
name I can't remember. But being hounded and bullied, which is that's all it was. It was just fucking bullying.
I mean,
And, look, the movie's shite. We both think the movie's shite. I'm not saying that.
I know what
movie's
you're
not
saying.
shite.
I know what you're saying.
What I am saying is that it doesn't warrant fucking bottlenecking all of your fucking bile towards this poor lassie, where she has to go, oh, you know what, I can't cope with this anymore.
Yeah. And
It's
she's confirmed.
fucking
She's confirmed
awful.
in the new one. JJ's brought her back for the new one,
Right.
So she's confirmed to be in that. So hopefully the fans will warm to her, or you know what, just turn around and be like,
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, just please do. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's stupid when shit like this happens, but we just can't have an announcement about anything without people spilling shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's mental.
Yeah. Same with, like, a couple months ago, wherever it was, where Robert Pattinson was announced as Batman. It was just instantly petitions being launched and fucking people saying the most awful fucking things.
But then that's another thing, like, people should learn from this. They should learn from their mistakes. Batman is the fucking perfect example of where fans should fucking learn, because they said Michael Keaton was going to be awful.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, what, the guy from Mr. Mom, the comedian who fucking does those funny films, is going to be Batman? No, that'll be terrible. Fucking Christopher Nolan goes out and hires Heath Ledger to play the Joker, and it's like, what? Fucking Heath Ledger, the guy from Knight's Tale, nah, he'll never play a good Joker. Look what happened there. Personally, my personal opinion, the best iteration of the Joker we will ever have in our lifetimes. And then Ben Affleck, the fucking internet went into a meltdown over Ben Affleck, and again, I think he's one of the, maybe not the best Batman, but he's definitely one of the best Bruce Waynes in my eyes. I think he's fucking perfect.
I would say he's probably the closest to, like, say, your Arkham games Batman, like the combat styling on that kind of thing.
I love Ben Affleck.
He's probably the closest to that we've seen.
And I said, back in the day, when Daredevil came out, I said back then, when watching Daredevil, I'd love to see him as Batman. Which is why when they announced it, I lost my shit. I was like, this fucking amazing, Ben Affleck's going to be Batman. And the internet just collapsed on itself. Gal Gadot, no way she'll ever be Wonder Woman. She's far too skinny. What the fuck? Just chill out and just wait and see what happens. So when it comes to, like, Robert Pattinson being cast, I'm very much in the boat of, you know what? How many times have people said...
Give them a minute. Just give them a fucking minute.
But how many times have people said that's the wrong choice in DC superhero movies, in a Batman movie? That's the wrong choice.
But, you know...
Let's see what he does.
It's like, you know, they wouldn't have just called up Robert Pattinson's agent out of the blue and gone, well, we've had a dartboard out and Robert Pattinson's won.
Yeah.
You know, there were like... you know, meetings going on and auditions going on and fucking second editions and third editions going on. And how about, for a split fucking second, before going on your bastard keyboard, how about you think that these people may just know what their fucking jobs are and you shut the fuck up?
Mm-hmm. I'm with you there.
Have you seen who is rumoured-ish to maybe, possibly, perhaps be the new Joker in Robert Pattinson's Batman?
No.
It's a rumour. It's pinch of salt rumour. Macaulay Culkin.
Fuck off.
I would watch that. Fuck you.
I would watch it.
Friend of the show, Paul Byrne, had that same reaction. I'm not... What? Fucking him from Home Alone.
I would 1,000,000% watch it, but that is not happening.
Like, and I said, but if they went and cast him as the Joker, Are you really telling me that there wouldn't be the slightest thing at the back of your head going, I need to see this?
Well, it could go either way. It could be Heath Ledger levels of shocking and surprising, or it could be just in the gutter trash.
I fucking hope they do it. I really do.
Nah, they'll not do it. Matt Reeves.
Probably not.
Matt Reeves ain't doing that
Michael
shit.
Pitt. Still get Michael Pitt.
Yeah, Michael Pitt, good show. But
that's probably not going to happen either. I don't think he's been on the screen since Boardwalk Empire ended. But yeah, I think that one was coming. I was ready for a rant on that. The stuff with Little Mermaid, the stuff with the marketing on Facebook with the Pride thing, that pissed me off. And if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it.
no,
But just for fuck's sake, calm down. So you know what? Fucking Disney do these movies and go the exact fucking opposite. As far as you can go, fucking get Scarlett Johansson as Pocahontas is what I'm saying.
I'd watch that.
So
on a quick tangent though, have you seen the reviews of The Lion King?
I have not.
Wow. I mean, we're not exactly fans of Rotten Tomatoes. It's been slipping into the show as of late, but we're not big fans of them. But it's certified rotten.
Is it?
Apparently, the movie lacks soul. It lacks heart. It lacks any kind of emotion.
Pretty much what I just said about Beauty and the Beast then.
Yeah. The actors are trying their best to bring some kind of performance. One of the things is that it's almost a scene for scene, word for word remake. So they're basically saying that yes, you've got Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's a fucking fantastic actor. We both love him, fantastic British actor. But they're saying his voice and his delivery isn't Jeremy Irons. So having him read Jeremy Irons' lines is like saying, yeah, they're not your lines. You weren't supposed to be reading them.
Yeah.
That's one of the big problems.
I can get that.
And apparently,
if you're bringing back James Earl Jones,
yeah,
bring back Jeremy Irons, you bastard.
Yeah. That for me, it's a bit of a deal breaker not bringing back Jeremy Irons, because Scar for me is like he's the pivotal character of that movie. Like he's the one that starts the shit, and pretty much it ends with him. So it's like, yeah, bring back Jeremy Irons. I don't need.
Yeah, that doesn't. I will see it.
It's not reviewing well.
I will see it, but I won't lie. I mean, I love the Jungle Book. I thought that was incredibly well done.
The live action Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Not the animated animated reboot of an animation.
What, they did an animated reboot of this?
It's just The Lion King. Fucking hate it. I'm getting really pissed off with all these reviews that I'm reading, and the first line of every review is the live action remake of The Lion King, and I'm sitting there going, no, you've lost me already, because it's not. You're a lying bastard. Stop it. Do not bow down to Disney's bullshit.
Unless you get fucking David Attenborough in there.
See, now, I'll tell you something, right? I'll tell you something. A Lion King narrated by David Attenborough would be fucking amazing.
I would watch that.
I would watch the shit out of that. Like, you could still have your, like...
Let's get David Attenborough's narration as Scar throws Mufasa spoilers off the thing.
You could still have your celebrity voices, but, like, just, like... You know when you're watching, like when blind people are watching, like, a movie, and they have, like, the hearing impaired, or the ocular impaired, I don't know what the fuck you call it, when you've got a voiceover talking to you, and it's like, Scar has... throw Mufasa off the ledge. It's very upsetting. You know, some shit like that.
Just hearing David Attenborough go, damn, that's fucked up!
Shit, son! like, I'd watch that. But anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on. A bit of Taika Waititi news.
Oh, I'm always good for Taika.
Taika Waititi is involved with a new Flash Gordon project.
Yes, I saw this.
It's an animation.
What's with all the animations?
Well, apparently they've been trying to get a Flash Gordon movie on the go for years and years.
Dolph Knob for it. Chris Hemsworth.
Just get any of those guys?
Aye, Hemsworth is fat.
Liam. Let's give Liam a bone, will we?
Yeah, he's not really doing much, is he?
No, bless him.
Poor Liam's.
So it's between 20th Century Fox and Disney. But yeah, Taika Waititi involved with it.
Yeah, anything he does.
I would watch it.
Anything he does, I'm going to watch.
I've not seen the original Flash Gordon in a long
God,
time.
no.
So, The Haunting of Hill House is Oliver Jackson Cohen has landed the title role in Blumhouse's remake of The Invisible Man.
Which one was he?
He's the Junkie Brother.
Oh. Okay.
Another British boy.
Okay. I'll give that a go. Invisible Man? Blumhouse, though.
It's not going to be anywhere near as good as the Kevin Bacon one, is it?
That was Hollow Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not the same fucking thing.
But did you ever see Invisible Dad with Bill Cosby? No, this is a movie. I'm sure it was Invisible Dad, or was it Invisible Man? Was it an Invisible Man movie? I might be right. I'm sure it was like Invisible Dad, and Bill Cosby played the Invisible Dad. Which, when you watch it now, I've not watched it in a long time, but I'm assuming when you watch it now, that's got so many new connotations. Because he's a bit of a wrong'un now, isn't he?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Apparently, allegedly.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not alleged.
Well, it has been alleged, but alleged.
So could they not just bring back Bill Cosby?
I think that would be frowned upon.
It's taken forever, but we'll move on to the next one.
So we'll stay on the Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
So Mike Flanagan and Trevor Macy are going to be heading another Netflix horror series.
Yes, I
called
saw
Midnight
this.
Mass.
This sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So it's a 7-episode season, and they've gone straight to series with it. So the tagline for the series is it's a supernatural story created or centered even on a man of the collar. Describing an isolated island community experiencing miraculous events and frightening omens.
Sounds good.
It does sound good.
I mean, anything this guy touches, I'm watching. So, but yeah, this does sound... Ghost Dad. It was called Ghost Dad.
Oh, I've heard of that actually.
He's currently working on a deal. It seems like his wife's illness was very costly, and his deal could put them. Fuck. Alright, Ghost Dad, Bill Cosby. But yeah, anything Mike Flanagan touches, I'm watching. That guy is just fucking awesome. When's Hill House 2? Is it still next year, or?
I couldn't tell you.
Because it was last year we got Hill House.
I really don't know when that is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's a different place though. It's like the.
Is it like a different family in that?
Yeah, it's like the Haunting of Bly House or.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Bly Rectory or something like that.
Right.
I think some of the original cast are back, but like I don't know if they're playing the same characters or if it's like an American Horror Story type deal.
You know what? I'd be okay with that as well.
I'd be okay with that. I'd love that. All those guys really surprised me. Surprising new details have been confirmed about the currently in production prequel.
Why are you reading like a monk?
Okay. So Game of Thrones is on its way, spin-off. Oscar-nominated A-lister night. Chris has written this. I don't know why you've written so many M's in there.
I didn't write it. I copied and pasted it from bloody Den of Geek, alright?
Oscar-nominated Naomi Watts, already in production in Northern Ireland at this very moment. Which is where Toby is. Toby's in Ireland.
That sneaky little bugger.
He must be in that.
2020.
Right, 2020. So yeah, this is the Game of Thrones prequel, which if you're on Facebook and you have any British actors as friends, which you and I now have quite a few of, not bragging, just saying, yeah, you will see that just about everyone and anyone wants to be in this. And everybody's asking, who's the casting director? Okay, it's just Neil Ward. But who's the casting director? Who's the casting director? You know what? IMDb that shit. Find out. Mm-hmm. Go and do an audition. Get the part, because you're awesome.
And just remember Chris and Kev.
Remember we made you.
Well.
Are you bothered about this prequel? This Game of Thrones prequel?
Oh, I'll watch it. 100% I'll watch it.
Yeah, they'll just fuck it up. It's not them, though.
Very negative, Kev.
It's not them, though.
Will we not start on that tonight? And Klaus Bang, who I've never heard of, will be the iconic bloodsucker in Mark Gatiss' and Stephen Moffat's new Dracula adaptation.
What's that going to be about?
I think it's going to be a Buffy spin-off.
with Stephen Moffat and Gatiss. What's happening with Sherlock? Is it ever coming back, do we think?
Hopefully not.
Nah. Are we watching this Dracula show?
I'll watch the Dracula show.
Ah, you probably will.
Yeah. So that's the news.
That is the news. So let's go on to our next section, which is going to be...
Are you struggling to see your phone?
Yeah, because it's
You
like
got all the blind aids.
there's a massive microphone in my face. Let's move on to the Spielberg flicks. Career highlights. Let's do that. Let's get that out of the way.
Hey guys, this is Venice, and I've got a message from a friend of mine about my favorite podcast.
It's your boy, Flavor Flav in full effect. Check this out, everybody. I want y'all to go check out TJ.
What's good, everybody? TJ Johnson here for Voice from the Underground. I am the most handsome.
Big Has.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
You know what I'm saying? The Dutch.
You pick me up in an Uber and a PT Cruiser, I'm calling Lyft.
Cause they be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even that good. Right, we're terrible. Terrible. Tangents all over the place.
And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
Am I allowed to talk?
I think, no, not right now.
Shut up, colonizer!
You know what I'm saying? He on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Okay, what Flav was trying to say is, check out Voice from the Underground on your favorite podcast network.
Voice from the Underground.
How did you get on with this?
Yeah, pretty easy actually.
Yep.
Yeah. Like all his movies were coming into my head, all the ones I could think of, which wasn't many. And I had lots of things going on. I decided that I wasn't going to go for production credits. Obviously, we know they count, so I ruled out.
I think with someone who's made as many movies as Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. But I think you might be pleasantly surprised by my pick.
You better not pinch mine.
There's a good chance I have.
Go on then.
It's not Jaws. So will we do... I'll tell you what, I'll go first, and then we'll do the joint pick, and then we'll do your pick, just in case I've stolen yours.
I'm not allowed to pick Jaws, remember?
No. But yeah, I went through his list, and he's got a fantastic array of movies out there. It was actually quite surprising how many I couldn't remember until I was going through the list, and I'm like, shit, Spielberg did that. Like, AI, because it's a piece of shit, but he made that. But the one that stood out for me the most is, I think it's a little bit left field, but it was Munich. Remember Munich?
Yeah,
and
I remember that. I've not seen it as many times as certain other movies that he's made. But yeah, that was a good film.
I think out of all the movies he's made, for me personally, and I'm only talking about me personally, it's the least Steven Spielberg-y movie that I think Steven Spielberg's ever made. Did I say Spielberg? I did, didn't I?
No, I don't think you did.
Like, it's pretty epic. It's pretty grand. I don't really remember the whole story, like, when it happened. But I remembered kind of, I would have still been a pup back then when all that happened at the Olympics and that. And, so I remembered certain, like, flashbacks and stuff like that, like the news reports when they've been shown it over the years and kind of thing. But I didn't really know anything about it. And Munich is kind of a deep dive into what went on and sort of the politics behind the scenes and everything. And I don't really think he goes that way. Like, he likes his fantasies, he likes his, like, bringing things on the screen that you'd, like, your fucking Jurassic Park, he's going to show you something you'll never ever see. Like, for the first time he did that, and it was awesome. But Munich's I think it's low-key for Steven Spielberg. And it's one that, as soon as I was going down the list, I was like, oh man, I fucking loved that movie. Like, I really enjoyed watching that. Daniel Craig, Eric Bana, and I believe Steppenwolf was in it. Kieran Hines, I believe he was in it as well.
Right.
I was going to IMDb it, but I didn't bother. I'm sure he was in it as well. But yeah, I love that film. I actually really enjoy that film.
Good call. And
it's a nice true story. Much like most of his movies.
He likes a true story.
He does. Yeah. He does. Yep. But he would kind of just come off the back of, like, I'm not going to name drop films because you might have picked one of them. But he'd come off the back of, like, a run of, like, pretty like true story kind of things, and then he came out with Munich, which fucking blew me away. But again, it's a true story, but it's something I didn't know the ins and outs of, and he put it out there, and it was like, yeah, fucking too right. You know what else gave me that feeling? Bridge of Spies. Did you ever watch that one?
I did watch that.
Yeah. He didn't do that, did he?
Spielberg did.
He did do that?
I think so.
That's another one that took me by
I'm
surprise.
Sure he did.
Because again, I didn't know anything about that story.
Mark Rylance and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was Spielberg, yeah.
That was a good film. So yeah.
Yeah, it's, I didn't expect that.
Good. I like to surprise you. I like to surprise.
I know. So our joint film, in this case, was Jurassic Park.
Yeah, man. I mean, that would have been my number one. If we didn't go for joint pick, that was my Jurassic Park, my number one, because that movie, even as a 34-year-old man right now, if I put it on TV, I'm fucking 12 again.
It's that type of movie. You can watch it at any time. It's just gone into, or all of them have gone into Netflix.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
and you can put it on, and you will feel like a kid again. It's that special type of movie.
I'm enjoying the Jurassic World movies, but they ain't touching that nostalgia bone that I got the first time I watched Jurassic Park. They're just not going to get there. It's not going to
happen.
Because, like I said before, it's the first time I ever saw a fucking dinosaur on the screen interacting with human beings, like in a movie that wasn't Land Before Time. You know? It never happened, and it looked so fucking good. Just like, Jurassic Park.
But the thing is, if you do rewatch Jurassic Park from, what was it, 93?
Yeah.
Somehow, the special effects in that movie still wipe the fucking floor with anything that they're doing in 2018, 2019.
Which is mental.
It's crazy.
Do you think of Spielberg, because obviously these new ones is like they've got random directors coming in, but do you think if Spielberg was like, right, I'm going to redo Jurassic Park with today's technology, do you think he could make it better?
I don't think he would do it with today's technology.
He wouldn't do it.
I think that he would say, fuck yes, I will come back and do your Jurassic World, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it practical.
Yeah, because a lot of it was practical as well. Like, it had its CG moments, but a lot of it was practical. I think he would do that, actually, yeah.
Apparently he had an idea of how to do a Jaws reboot.
Jaws versus Jurassic Park.
Well, you see, I always said, right, I'm pretty sure I said this on the podcast, is if you wanted to do that, reboot Jaws essentially, is you have them create like a megalodon type thing in Jurassic World, and it fucking escapes and goes into the ocean.
Jaws kills it,
and then, well, no, that is Jaws.
No, that would never happen because the Staith would just come in and fucking punch it in the eye.
That is right. So you didn't have. I'm not going to call him the Staith. I'm not a massive twat.
So what is your pick?
Now, this was going to surprise you, I think.
Toy Story.
He didn't direct that.
Okay.
Anyway, right. I'm a massive fan of the man. You know that. So I toy with the idea of like Lincoln, which I'm a huge fan of that movie. Your Catch Me If You Can, which is another cracking movie.
It is a great film.
They're great movies, and but this film was when I was a kid, and fuck it, still now, fuck it. It was very, very sort of special for me, up there with Jurassic Park. It is Hook.
Yeah, I'll give you Hook.
Hook does not get anywhere near the credit that it deserves.
Oh, 100%, I agree with that.
And I'll tell you for why. Steven Spielberg with, again, all practical. Well, or very few special effects, CGI and what have you. All practical. Fucking created Neverland. And he did a Peter Pan sequel that Disney had never, ever managed to do. You have fucking Bob Hoskins, bless him, playing Smee, fucking born to play the character. Dustin Hoffman playing Hook.
Two actors.
Jesus Christ.
Who puts those two actors together?
Exactly.
Like, who turns around and says, you know what, Bob Hoskins and fucking Dustin Hoffman will be an amazing double act?
It was the first time I'd seen Dustin Hoffman in that kind of role.
Yeah.
Where he was clearly fucking, like, enjoying the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's balling out.
You've got they bring the Lost Boys to life. Rufio, exactly. And I mean, Robin Williams as Peter Pan.
See, now that is a cast choice that I could see. Like, I know back then Robin Williams wasn't like, I don't know, he wasn't really the megastar he became at that point. He was still sort of making his way.
He'd probably done his.
But Robin Williams as Peter Pan.
Would he have done Good Morning Vietnam by then?
I'd have done that by then, yeah. Aye. But like, seeing Robin Williams, if Spielberg was to turn around and say, right, so Peter Pan has grown up to be Robin Williams, you'd probably sit there and go, Yep, I see that. I completely see that. 100%, go for it.
And Maggie Smith as Granny Wendy. It's just...
It's an amazing movie.
It's just a cracking movie, and, I have watched it a few times over the last few years or what have you. I think it's still, visually, it still holds up.
Oh, yeah.
I think the performances in it are amazing. And I don't think anybody other than Steven Spielberg, then or now, would be able to do that.
No, I'm giving you that 100%. And it is all set builds, like everything's set. It's like you say, practical and everything. They built pirate ships and shit like that. It's fucking great. So I'll give you that. I'm 100% with you there. I threw it up on the SBS page today.
The what now?
On the SBS, the football team that I play for. I threw it up on the page to see if some of the lads wanted to throw out some choices. I was going to try and, like, if like loads of them said the same film, I was going to be like, well, that's your pick. But instead we'll just make it like a nice little honourable mention section. Yeah. So Andy Thorpe turned around and he said that Spielberg's finest work was Schindler's List. I mean, it's good, but I only had 5 wanks.
Ricky Gervais did it.
I know. AI was his most underrated work.
No.
I think it's rightly so. It's underrated. Like, it's not great.
That's not what underrated means.
No, it's not. E.T. is a classic. Obviously, E.T. is a classic. Kev Wright totally agreed with you. Hook, one of his favourites. Catch Me If You Can and The Terminal are incredibly underrated. What was The Terminal?
Wasn't that the one where Tom Hanks and, was it Catherine Zeta-Jones?
In the airport.
I never saw that all the way through.
Nah. And he said, honourable mention, he knows he was only the executive producer, but The Goonies. And I said, production credits count, and he said, Back to the Future, and I says, not that one. Craig Gill, Saving Private Ryan, greatest war movie of all time. I'm not going to disagree with that at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it led on to one of the best TV series that Spielberg was involved in, the Band of Brothers TV show. That was all his baby.
And The Pacific.
Him and who else?
Tom Hanks.
Him and Tom Hanks were like all over that shit. And Band of Brothers it's fucking gold standard TV, basically.
I like The Pacific better.
I never actually watched The Pacific. I watched the first episode, but I couldn't get through it.
It's got Tim from Jurassic Park now.
Ah, cool.
As Sledgehammer.
And Stephen Kerr said that he quite enjoyed War Horse. Is that Spielberg?
That is Spielberg.
Yeah. Is it good? I've not watched it.
It is good. It's a good call. I thought of that.
But yeah, so that's that.
That's the thing. There's so many movies in his catalogue that it's...
Yeah.
The you can put it on a group chat like that, and you'll never get the same answer twice.
I had to stay away from production credits basically because it just opened up the box even wider. Like you say, your Back to the Futures, your Goonies and all that. How do you not put the Goonies top of your list of anything? You know what I mean? So like, I was just like, nope, not doing production credits. I'm sticking to director. But like you said, he's done that much.
Yeah.
So, who do you think we should do next?
Do you have one in your head?
Square up the bum. Gonna do someone square up the... No, we'll not do that.
Fucking hell.
I am thinking, I've mentioned him a couple of times already in this episode. We've shuddered a couple of times at the mere sound of his name. Why don't we do career highlights of one Ridley Scott?
Okay.
Can you think of any?
Yeah, I've already got mine.
Aliens.
No,
that wasn't him. That was the other one.
That was James Cameron.
Yeah, James Cameron. Yeah.
Yeah, I've already got mine done. Boosh.
So we will do Ridley Scott in the next episode. What do you want to do now? You want to do...
why don't we go what we've been watching?
Yeah, let's do that. So, cheeky little promo on them, what have we been watching? Which is our section of movies and TV shows that we've been watching. It's like Ron Seal.
Paint.
Varnish.
Hey everybody, this is Henno.
And this is Stephanie.
And we're from the Gotham Lights Podcast.
Also, the Orville Lights Podcast, sometimes.
They are two podcasts dedicated to the television show Gotham
and the Orville.
Now, where can they reach us, Steph?
I'm so glad you asked, Henno. You can find us on Twitter at Gotham Lights. You can also find us on Facebook, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Just by searching Gotham Lights. Gotham Lights Podcast at gmail.com.
So, Chris.
Yes.
You're the one that's had like a full 10 days off. 7, 8 days.
So, yeah, as I said, on Monday I went to see Spiderman Far From Home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you probably guessed, I fucking loved it.
There's no way you weren't gonna.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. It's obviously picks up from the end of Endgame.
Cool.
So spoilers. If you don't want spoilers about Endgame, then shut the fuck up. So obviously Tony Stark is dead, and he has left his sort of operating system, like Friday type thing. He's kind of sort of left that to Peter.
Okay.
So everybody's kind of going, well, you know, Spider-Man is the next Iron Man. Okay. What are you going to do? And Peter Parker is like completely overwhelmed with this. He doesn't know what to do. And they're going on a school trip to Europe, far from home.
Oh, I see what they did there.
So he basically just wants to be a 15-year-old kid or however old he is. He wants to go around Europe and he wants to kiss MJ on the top of the Eiffel Tower. That's not a euphemism. The actual Eiffel Tower. So yeah, he just wants to do that. He just wants to be a kid, basically. Yeah. He doesn't want to take the Spider-Man costume with him. Aunt May is saying you really should take it, and I don't want to take it. I don't want anything to do with it. I want to go on a vacation. So we are then introduced to Jake Gyllenhaal's character. Mysterio. Yeah. Now,
how's Jake Gyllenhaal?
Right. He is not what you are expecting him to be.
So he's not Jake Gyllenhaal. What do you mean by that?
His character is not what you're expecting him to be. So anybody who goes into this thinking that he is not going to be the big bad is a fucking idiot.
Oh, well, anybody... Yeah, that's... I know they tried to paint that in the trailers, that, like, oh, he's a good guy and all this, and he's trying to save his multiverse. But, like you say, there's no fucking way you're going to believe that.
But, so in the comics, Mysterio's all sort of mystical and witchcrafty and shit. But there's none of that bullshit in it. I think that the way that they do it is very, very clever. There's some trippy as balls moments in it,
right?
But I really can't say anything more about the character and what have you, and who he ends up being.
Okay.
Without, it's only been out for like a week, so I really don't want to give away spoilers.
Is he the Kingpin?
He is not.
Is he the Lizard?
Yes.
Is he Harvey Two-Face?
Yes.
He's none of those things, is
no.
he?
I don't want to give away spoilers or anything like that. I personally think it was very well done. You said to me that people were saying it was predictable, and
yeah,
I don't
one of the main
know what
things,
the fuck they're going on about with that.
One of the main things I've been reading is that it's super predictable.
I don't
like. I've not seen it, so I can't really comment. I did watch a video that basically gave spoilers, and I could see maybe what they were saying. Like, but I think you kind of have to know your comic law to get it. So
was it? I don't think it was predictable personally.
Right. Well,
as you said, I was going. There's no way in hell I was going to come out that cinema going, well, that was a load of shite.
It's doing well.
It wasn't going to happen.
It's tracking well. People are loving it. My only real thing was how do they deal with the snap in this movie? Because obviously, when he comes to at the end of Endgame, he comes back, and it seems like pretty much everyone in the school came back at the same time, because you have that moment at the end with him and Ned, and they both kind of have this moment of like knowing that they both disappeared, kind of thing, or at least that's how I interpret it. How do they deal with the snap?
Well, the movie actually opens up with a video montage of Tony Stark and everybody who died.
Cool.
To the song of "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston.
Standard.
Which is
that's how I want to go out.
Cheesy as fuck, and it's so then it's like a shitty video that's been put together by some guys in the high school.
Yeah. Because that's how the first movie opened up, wasn't it? With the news report.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Aye.
Sweet.
So they're calling it the blip.
Okay.
Yep. And so they're basically they kind of do what they did with the time travel rules.
Right. Just disregard them.
Where not disregard it exactly, but like so they've got the two newsreaders, and they're saying yes. So half of our school vanished, and then five years later came back, and now we're in classes with people who are 5 years younger than us, and it's fucking mental kind of thing.
Right.
So they're just basically they're acknowledging that like they have a camera phone footage of like they're in the middle of a basketball game, and like a dozen people just appear on the basketball court.
Sweet.
And they get battered in the head with a ball, which we can't beat that.
So they are sticking with.
So they are sticking with it, and it happened, and it's called the blip.
That's okay. I can live with that.
They don't reference it too much.
No, you
can't. They address it. So they acknowledge that it's happened.
Yeah.
And that so some people are now 5 years older than what they should be, kind of. Or 5 years younger than what they should be.
Is it a case of all of Spider-Man's friends and the main cast, they all disappeared and they've all come back the same age as they were, and then everybody who's like a second-rate character that nobody really cares about, they're the older ones?
No, I don't think so.
So it's like, is any of his core crew?
So
like Flash, is it Flash?
I think
Eddie.
Flash stayed.
Right, he stayed.
I think so.
Sweet.
I think so. Because the actor looks older, so like,
see though, that would have been great in Harry Potter. You know, when they all started proper like getting puberty and stuff, and they all of a sudden became 40-year-olds. Like they could have done that. They could have just had like a Thanos snap and like.
Nah, man, they just gave them a haircut.
Fuck, that didn't work. But yeah, that was one of my main things coming out of Endgame, and knowing that Spider-Man was coming up, I was kind of like, well, how the fuck are they going to do this? Because Spider-Man's set at high school. So how are these kids all going to coexist when you've got kids that are clearly going to be 5 years older?
Well, they've not got they like people who remained they're not still at school.
Right.
They've left school, and so people who came back are now...
Sweet.
So Flash can't have stayed.
So they've aged out, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like they address it. They don't spend too much time on it, because if you try and get your head around it, you're going to give yourself a headache.
How does Gyllenhaal look with a fishbowl on his head? Does it look as mental as it sounds? Or have they done a good job?
Again, if you go into the movie and realise what the fuck is going on,
right?
They're giving you a reason for
the fishbowl.
Sort of, kind of.
Okay.
You have to watch it, because I don't want to give away spoilers.
I think I already know. I think I might have. Yeah, I think I already know. But that's cool. So, would you like to move on to my first? Actually, wait a minute. Would you fully recommend this movie? And would you want people to go and see it? And what? Don't really want to talk about end credit scenes, but what's it setting up?
I don't know what the fuck it's setting up.
Oh,
because
I did hear one post-credit screen, and I messaged you saying, and there is one, and I have to say, well played, Marvel. Like, because bringing that guy back is a stroke of fucking genius.
So yeah, there is a character that makes a return to the Spideyverse, a very, very welcome return to the Spideyverse. But I don't want people to have spoilers.
When I read that, I was like, holy fucking shit, well played.
Yeah,
well fucking played.
It sets up like future Spider-Man movies in a way that it's like, fucking hell, what are they going to do here?
So is there any like mention of because you know how at the end of Homecoming you had Victor Toombs in the prison, and he met what looked like Scorpion? Was it Scorpion? And it kind of looked like we might be having like a ragtag.
There's no. I thought that Michael Keaton was actually going to be back for this one. I don't know why I thought that, but he's not. Spoilers. Michael Keaton isn't in it.
Well, no, I don't think anybody thought he was.
I actually thought it was a thing where he was coming back for Far From Home.
I think he's coming back, but I think because that seemed to me like that was the end credit scene for that film, was when he met Scorpion in prison, and it was kind of like Sinister Six. Mm-hmm. You know, we're gonna play with it, but we ain't gonna do it just yet.
Yeah.
Not like Sony, who's like, you know what, let's ram them all in one fucking movie. That was bad.
It was bad. Bless her. She got a producer credit.
She did. She did.
Yeah.
Awesome. So,
but yes, I do thoroughly enjoy it. There's a lot that happens in it. I don't think it's predictable at all. I think that it was very well done. Peter's arc in it is very good as well. Where they're like Nick Fury is trying to put pressure on him to sort of step up and be the next Iron Man kind of thing, and he's just not ready for it.
Yeah.
And that is very, very well done.
Cool. I will watch it. I'm going to watch it. I just wasn't really that bothered about rushing out to because as you know, with the whole comic book movie things, I'm a tad fatigued with the whole thing. I've been fighting comic book fatigue on this podcast for as long as when people have been talking about it, but I do feel like I'm getting a bit of it. So like when Spider-Man was coming up after Endgame, I was just kind of like, I can wait, because Endgame took a lot out of me. Infinity Wars and Endgame both took a lot out of me, and I don't mean emotionally, I just mean like, yeah, it took a lot of interest away from comic book superhero movies, which is a shame. But I'll get my love back. You never know. Far From Home might do it.
You never know.
Probably not, but
Wonder Woman 84 is around the corner. Don't rub your thighs like that.
Excited. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my first movie, which is hilarious because I just talked about comic book fatigue, but the first movie I would like to talk about is I finally got to watch a movie that got fucking panned. It got panned when it came out. Don't understand why. I watched Hellboy.
I, as you know, also watched Hellboy.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I genuinely like. We're both big fans of Neil Marshall.
Yeah,
both big fans of Neil Marshall, and yeah, I think this is actually a really fucking standout movie. I think Harbour he's no Ron Perlman, but he's fucking good and he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, I really don't get it.
This took me by surprise because I sat down to watch it thinking nobody liked this. Nobody seemed to be wanting this. Nobody was asking for this. I'm probably going to hate this. And I sat down and watched it, and within about 10-15 minutes, I'm like, why did nobody like this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was laughing. I was excited at times when certain things was happening. Like, the action was really good. The fighting was good. Like I say, David Harbour, he's not Ron Perlman, but he's doing something different with it, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think he is. He's bringing something new to it, but it's not completely alien to the original movie. You've got Ian McShane in there.
Oh yeah,
just being Ian McShane.
And as much as visionary as Guillermo del Toro is, and he is, I thought Neil Marshall's like that whole Baba Yaga house with when he goes into the dream and shit. That was some pretty visceral shit.
Well, I think that Del Toro is overrated, as you know.
I know you do. But he is pretty, like, he does good monsters and stuff.
Okay.
I'll give him that. But, yeah, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I don't get why people don't like it. Mila Jovovich is kind of just... I love a bit of Mila. I do like a bit of Mila. But personally...
She could have done more in it.
She was my only real kind of... I wouldn't say peeve, but I was kind of like, why are we not using this character? Why is she not?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen more of her just tearing shit up.
Yeah, because she was supposed to be like the blood queen kind of thing.
Yeah, the pig thing with the Scouse accent.
Stephen Graham.
Was that Stephen Graham? Right. Okay.
Didn't need that.
That just made me think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
I didn't.
With Seamus as
oh, they should have got Seamus to do that. I didn't hate that character to start off with, but once I realised it was Stephen Graham, I started to hate that character. I was kind of like, Stephen, what are you doing? You're just better than that. Like, you're just... And then, I don't know, like 3/4 like of the way through the movie, I kind of got this feeling he was just having a laugh. Like, he just seemed to be having a laugh with it, and just, like, you know, and he's like, you fucking cunt and you slag and all this shit, and I was just sitting there like, I don't need Stephen Graham doing this. But, you know, at the same time, I kind of loved it. I did kind of love it. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, same here.
I think
I said to you after we had watched it, it was fucked before it even went to the cinema.
Yeah, people didn't want to like it.
And I don't know why.
Because they want Hellboy 3. They want Guillermo to finish his trilogy. Newsflash, he's not going to finish it. He's been saying for years he wants to finish it. From what I've read and from what I've seen in news reports, they want him to finish it. It's him who's stopping it. Like, it's not them, it's him that seems to be stopping it. But I think we're at the point now, like, could Ron Perlman do that now? Could he pull that off?
I think he probably could.
He's getting on, like.
But, yeah, I think that David Harbour did. He put in a good turn.
I actually thought he
loved
did.
the R ratingness of it.
It's gory. It's got a lot of gore to it, like.
Also the language as well.
Yeah,
that's what I like in my Hellboy movie.
Yeah. And I even like the little kid who's like the one that he saved when she was a baby and all this. Like, when I first met her, I was like, I am not going to like this character. And like within about 10 minutes, I was totally warm to her. I was like, yeah, she's pretty badass. I was like, I'm into this character.
The
like,
Stevie thing's a bit weird.
Yeah. I don't mind that though.
But
that's what I like in the bedroom. So.
For fuck's sake.
And we got a tease for another one, but do you think it's going to happen?
No.
Nah, it's not, is it? I quite like that as well at the end when you kind of had the they were going on sort of a mission together, and when you got to see them working as a team kind of thing, they worked really well as a team, and like visually with him turning into the tiger, and spoilers, this character that turns into a tiger, but like when he's jumping around and everything, I was sitting there going, I would totally watch another movie of this.
I would go and see that, but it's not going to happen.
Nah, it's not going to happen because it got bitch slapped. Yep. So what else have you been watching?
Well, we also both watched this film.
Excellent. I like it when that happens.
Yeah, I'd been dying to see this, as had you.
Mm-hmm.
It was it's produced by James Gunn.
This movie,
Brightburn.
I text you this. I don't know if by the end of the year this will be my film of the year, but it's 100% going to be my top 5.
Yeah.
It is fucking awesome. And released this week, Brightburn 2 could be happening, in the works, possibly happening. I want to watch that all day.
Get it done. Oh, aye. It's so good.
It's mental. It's you know what I love about this film, like, and I think it's because like when you know the behind the scenes of like things that were happening at the time. So you've got like James Gunn having been sacked by Disney, and he hadn't quite been hired by DC to do Suicide Squad 2 yet, but he's in this like holding pattern, and like everything that's going on around is like, oh, James Gunn's toxic. James Gunn, you can't touch him because like he's a fuck. He wrote a couple of tweets 10 years ago that don't fit in with the Disney fucking model, and all that's going on. And I have this image of like James Gunn being like, what's the most fucking un-Marvel, un-DC, un-fucking Disney thing I could make right now? Oh yeah, I'm gonna make that a story about Superman when he was a baddie.
I want to watch more of that.
Oh, I loved it. And you know what I loved about it as well? It clearly is Superman. Like they've done that story in Superman comics before. Like, what if the Kents never found Superman and the Luthers found him? Or something? I think it's called Nail or something like that. So
didn't they do that on Small?
yeah, they've done it. They have done it. So it's kind of like, yeah, like that is an interesting as fuck story. But this one, I was just like, what the fuck?
But that's the good thing is, they are kind of Ma and Pa Kent-y.
Yeah.
But the kid is just a little bastard.
He's a total little bastard.
And
it's like no matter what they did, no matter how they raised this kid, he was going to turn into that little bastard.
And there's some moments in there where the dad, he knows that his kid is basically going to end up killing them. And the mother's kind of, well, just being a mother. No, he's fine.
Lizzie Banks, man, she can do what she wants.
Bless her.
I'm all about that, Lizzie Banks. Seriously, man, this film, I'm not going to say it took me by surprise, because I had a sneaking suspicion from the trailers I'd watched and everything. I'm like, I'm going to love this film. This film's just going to be right up my street. So I wasn't surprised by how much I loved it, but I was just surprised at how fucking good it was. Like, because even like a cheesy B movie with that kind of story, I'm going to enjoy it. But this film was like production value and everything was just top notch. Everything was top notch. And obviously James Gunn didn't direct it. He was like an executive producer. But it's got James Gunn, early James Gunn, you know, like Slither and all that. It's got early James Gunn written all over it, which is why I was just sat there like, oh, this fucking movie's amazing.
It was very, very good. Yeah.
I'm so glad he got to do this and then got rehired for Guardians 3 and he's still doing Suicide Squad 2. That man fucking, he's the cat that got the cream. I was listening to Talk as Jericho. Do you ever listen to the Jericho podcast? He had Dave Bautista on. And obviously Dave Bautista's in Guardians of the Galaxy. And they were talking about that because remember how vocal he was.
Oh, yeah.
And then basically saying that he was going to walk away and then realised, you know, there's such thing as contracts, so you can't just walk away. And he was telling the story about James Gunn being rehired, and he said that it was months before they announced it that they took him back. He says Disney had actually brought him back on board months before, but they waited for the right time to let you know that he was back on board. Which I thought, should Dave Bautista really be saying that?
Probably not. Maybe Dave Bautista needs to learn to shut the fuck up.
By the way, extremely intelligent man. Like, listening to that Talk is Jericho, like, I thought he was just a bit of a meathead. But no, extremely intelligent man. Like, pretty well up there. Still needs to shut his mouth, but yeah, Brightburn is fucking incredible. It's like what would happen if Superman was a cunt. And 12, and the kid, man.
I want to see it again.
Those scenes when is he the uncle or he's the friend, and he's in the car, and he keeps turning the lights on and off, and he's trying to start the engine, and the kid's just sort of stood halfway down the road.
Oh man. Fuck me, yeah.
Every time I was like, get out the car and fucking run. It's not going to help anyway, but run. Yeah, that was grim.
That was grim. Mm-hmm.
It was good though. Yeah, highly recommend Brightburn. So, I also watched. So I got two movies that I'm quickly going to mention, but I ain't going to talk about them because I didn't actually watch all of them. So I fell asleep during Rocket Man.
Right.
It's not great. And I turned Shaft, the Netflix one.
Oh yeah.
Turned it off after 10 minutes. Awful. Just the first 10 minutes was. Did you watch it yet?
I did watch it.
Did you watch it? Are you going to talk about it?
I was going to touch on it.
Yeah. What did you think?
I didn't mind it.
Go on then. What did you think?
I thought it was funny as fuck.
Does it get any better after the first 10 minutes?
The guy who's playing his kids, I thought he was fucking great.
Right.
I mean, if you didn't enjoy the first one, I
didn't mind the first one. I didn't mind it.
I thought it was funny as hell. I thought the action was good when it needed to be good.
Right.
Yeah, they have a little cheeky callback to the 2001 film. Quite early on in the movie, I enjoyed it. I thought it was
literally 10 minutes in. I was like, I don't need this in my life.
You can't put off a movie after 10 minutes unless it's like really, 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 really bad.
In that first 10 minutes, I'd suffered through 6 minutes of Regina Hall sitting in the car going,
setting up the fucking movie.
And don't get me wrong, right? I actually quite like Regina Hall. She can be funny. She's a very good actress. But oh my fucking days. I was just like 10 minutes in. Like I say, I've been suffering from like severe man flu, so maybe that was it. But I was like 10 minutes in. I was like, nah. Sorry, mate, not happening.
I thought that's setting up the fucking movie. You can't put it off before it actually goes into the movie proper.
But a movie that I absolutely adored, and Ruby watched 3/4 of this movie. She probably shouldn't have, but she watched about 3/4 of this movie. Alita. Battle Angel. It is Robert Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, that looked like shite on the trailers.
It did look like shite. Like, it's not one, like, I think the only reason I really put it on was because I was like, you know what, Robert Rodriguez, he's never really steered me wrong. Okay, his movies aren't massive mega blockbusters that win all the awards or make all the money, but I do like Robert Rodriguez. Spy Kids, big fan of those movies.
Never seen
From
them.
Dusk Till Dawn, fucking love that. Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. It's Robert Rodriguez, so I'm going to watch it. Put it on, hugely surprised at how much I loved it. It is CG heavy, like, very CG heavy. But the funny thing is, as I was watching it, I was sitting there loving it, and the story is basically Christoph Waltz is a doctor in like an apocalyptic future kind of thing, and he finds this robot. He basically reboots this robot. She has amnesia type thing. She can't remember what she was beforehand, and then as the movie progresses, she realizes that she was a battle angel, which is like a fucking super high-tech, mental, super-duper assassin.
I see.
Honestly, man, I actually don't know how to sell this movie to people. It's a hard one to sell, but I think when you do watch it, or if you do watch it, it's really interesting, and it's actually really entertaining. There's a lot going on. My only real problem was the last 20 minutes. I kind of got a sense of, oh, you don't know how to end your movie. Like, you want to set up a sequel, but you're not entirely sure if you're going to get that sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So you've kind of lost your way in ending this movie. That was my only problem. And then it definitely ends with we've got a sequel, which from what I've heard it doesn't, which is a shame. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ed Skrein played Francis in Deadpool, the bald chavvy.
Right.
He's in there. He's really good. Christoph Waltz, like I said, Jennifer Connelly is really good in it. I've not seen her for a while, so seeing her was good. Mahershala Ali, Cottonmouth from Luke Cage. Mm-hmm. He's all up in there, slumming it, I will say, slumming it, but still pretty good. The only real thing that I laughed at when I was watching it was I had this overwhelming sense of, wow, Robert Rodriguez just made a James Cameron movie. Like, I was kind of sitting there the whole time. Like, it was about halfway through I started feeling like this would be a really great James Cameron movie. Why has Robert Rodriguez made a James Cameron movie? And then I got to the end, and it turned out screenplay adapted by James Cameron. I was like, that makes complete fucking sense. But for Robert Rodriguez's attempt at a James Cameron movie, it's pretty good. I think.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that.
I know you won't, because, like I say, I don't know how to sell it to people. Like, I kind of want people to watch it, but I don't know how to sell it.
So, I think it was Amazon Prime it came up on, but I think it was, or maybe Sky. Bygones. No, I'm not going to watch that.
I was reading a lot of people as well saying, "Oh, our eyes are too fake and all that. The CG's terrible. The eyes are too big and all this." And I'm like sitting there, like watching this film, like she's a fucking robot. She's not meant to look absolutely human.
Yeah, that was going back to the Little Mermaid thing. I think it was actually Disney's response to it. It was kind of in that vein, where they were like, well, yes, you're completely right. There is no place for a black mermaid in this fucking fantasy tale about mermaids.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the animation, because there's like loads of undersea stuff, I'm pretty sure there'll be a black mermaid in there somewhere. Well, no, you're right. It's Disney, isn't it? They kind of don't like them, do they?
I'm not really.
So what else have you been watching?
I've not got any more movies. I've got a cheeky documentary.
Cool.
It is on Netflix, and it's what's the bloody name of it again? Hold on. Yeah, The Accountant of Auschwitz.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's not a comedy.
Yeah, I saw that. Not a comedy, no.
No.
Damn.
It's about the trial of this old boy.
I did start watching this.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it, though.
It's not an easy watch.
No.
It's really, really not. They've identified him as, well, the accountant of Auschwitz.
Yeah.
So he was responsible for taking all of the Jews, well, not just the Jews, the Jews, the blacks, the gays, the gypsies, anyone who wasn't a Nazi, taking their belongings, going through the belongings, taking anything that was valuable, and stealing it, essentially. And that was his job. And so he's been put on trial, but he's like 90 odd. And so they have, quite interestingly, they're addressing the point of view of, is it right to take a 93, 94-year-old man to court or, to trial, with a view to locking him up or what have you.
What's quick sidebar on that? What's your stance there? Do you think that's worth it?
I don't know.
See,
I think. Okay, so I think it's important to have those people face justice, but do I think there's a massive point of taking a frail 93-year-old man to court? I don't know, mate.
See,
there was one of the survivors who is talking at the, sort of near the start of the documentary, where this old guy sort of hobbled into the hobbled into the courtroom, and he could barely walk.
Yeah.
And he sits down and all that. And then she goes, but then he sat down, and he started looking around the courtroom, and his arms were crossed, and he started looking around the courtroom like a fucking Nazi. As if he was superior, and the witnesses, who were Jewish or what have you, were fucking nothing. So in that respect, maybe he should be taken to court. And
but what justice are you getting from that? Like, I'm not being funny, right? So, yeah, okay, he's this accountant of Auschwitz and stuff like that, and he has like a history of the Nazism and stuff like that. But like, what can families possibly get from that now? I don't understand what the end game is there.
Well, I think the end game is we got the motherfucker. Even though he's 93 years old, he didn't escape. And maybe it's still important for, future generations who, let's face it, are thick as fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, they ain't gonna fucking
realise. Yeah, you know what? Killing 6 million people's not all right.
I've got a funny feeling that if you were to turn around and tell a millennial, we caught this guy who killed 6 million odd people, or was part of the whole thing, I'm pretty sure a millennial would say, "Oh, you can't lock him up." I'm pretty sure they would fight for his human rights, because that's what we do now. We're pansy ass bitches. But I mean, I know this is still a big thing. I've seen it on Discovery Channel, I've seen it on History Channel, Nazi hunting and all that, and we've got to catch all the Nazis. And I'm just I see it all the time, and I'm just kind of sitting there thinking to myself, maybe it's just the cynical side of me, but I'm like, what is the fucking point?
Well, when you look at it like that, there are still Nazis, though.
Oh yeah,
they're not all 93 years old.
But are they still? Obviously, they'll still believe in that rhetoric and all that, but are they still actively doing it? Are they still actively trying to gas Jews or kill Jews?
No, because they're not in power.
Well, yeah.
But just because they're not in power doesn't mean to say that they're not thinking those things.
Yeah, but then you could jail anyone. I could probably point out 10 occasions in the last 2 months where I've walked past someone and thought, I'd love to smash your face in.
Yeah,
but does that mean I go to jail for it?
It's a little bit different, because if you're just thinking, that guy looks like an arsehole.
Yeah.
Prick.
Yeah, twice a day.
That's a little bit different to, that guy looks like a Jew. I think I probably should gas the fuck out of him.
I see what you're saying there. I will concede on that point. I'm just trying to strike up debate with you, because I just don't understand why these people are obviously have your emotions, be hurt by the whole thing. The whole thing was fucking mental, what all happened and that. But I'm is there any real point, as you say, jailing a 93-year-old?
I really do think it's because, if you look at shit that's happening in America and other places where there are in 2019 swastikas being flown, then maybe there is a point.
Yeah, that is bullshit. That's they want to stamp. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I'll concede that point, but I don't know. This hunting them down and stuff like that. I'm just kind of is that not pretty much what they did? Is that not what they did to the Jews and whatnot? They hunted them down. But then,
what is very, very interesting, and I didn't know this.
Yes, back to
is they touch on that after the Nuremberg trials and all that. They had to essentially pick the main ones.
Nazis.
After the war finished. They had to pick the main ones, and the new German government, they were trying to have the Nuremberg trials shut down, which I didn't know was a thing, because they just wanted the whole thing to be gone.
Yeah.
They were okay, you know what? maybe we took it a bit too far.
Maybe. Just maybe.
Bygones. But I didn't know that, and that is very interesting. So I think it's worth going back and finishing it if you are inclined to do so.
I might do. I did start watching it, but again, like I'm saying, just in my head, I was kind of like, what's the point in this? Like, it's not a young 18-year-old that you can bring to justice and they're going to lose their fucking life because they're getting jailed for life. It's a 93-year-old man who probably only has a couple of years left in him anyway. I don't see what you're giving the families of the victims by putting him in jail.
But then
I do get you have to name him. You have to make sure he stands trial for that. Like, fucking, it was you. We know it was you. We're going to put you on, like, a paedophiles register. Something like that. Like a Nazi register. Should have a Nazi. They've got to have a Nazi register, eh?
I think that's their own register.
Yeah.
Like, you sign up.
But that's more like a scorecard, isn't it?
When you join, you like a golf.
That's class.
Like if you kill the Jew in 3 swings, then it's just par. 2 swings is an eagle.
I'm on par for the fucking Auschwitz course.
Wow.
We should maybe move on from that.
Let's do that.
So I watched I watched a movie that really, really surprised me. This one was Sam Rockwell was in it. Taraji P. Henson was in it.
Is this the one where you text me going, I really, really love Sam Rockwell?
I do really love Sam Rockwell. The movie was called The Best of Enemies, and it's all about the story of... I can't remember her fucking name. But anyway, Rockwell plays the leader of the Ku Klux Klan in like South Carolina, like some bumfuck country, state in America. And he's the leader of the Ku Klux Klan. And the kids, there's a black school that goes on fire, so they're going to have to move the black kids in with the white kids at the school, and this town ain't having none of that shit. Because, they don't want it.
Reasons.
So the local council decide this is too much of it. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot barge pole kind of thing. So they bring in this guy who's known for sorting civil discussions. It's kind of what he does. And he has this thing that they call a charrette, which is basically like a debate. It's going to be like a week-long debate. And they get all the black people of the town, they get all the white people and the Klan members of the town in the town hall together. And they basically have 2 sets of people, one predominantly black set and one predominantly white set, and they have to discuss the pros and cons of putting the kids in together kind of thing in this school. And it's a way of getting them talking. It's actually a really fucking interesting story. Like, as I was watching it, I was sitting there like, man, like the way this guy works and the way he does it is you're kind of like sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, they want to rip each other's throats out. They want to kill each other, but they're talking. They're in the room talking, and they don't realise what he's doing to them. Like, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, fucking fuck this, fuck that, and then like the Taraji P. Henson's like, I don't want none of this shit, and fucking Sam Rockwell's like, I'm gonna kill them all them peoples, and then like, but like, not what he said, is it? It's not. I love Sam Rockwell, but he says the N-word a whole bunch in this movie, and it made me really uncomfortable. But I think that's when I realised, this man is just fucking amazing. Like, he could play any character. But then what I did, after watching the movie, because it kind of like, it ended in a way that I was kind of like, that's bullshit. That's Hollywood movie making. Like, it's a true story, but I'm not 100% convinced it went that way. And I actually went on like Wiki, and I went on Google and all that, and I typed in the case and all that, and I had a look into it and everything. And it fucking happened. It's a low budget, it's an indie movie, you're probably not going to see it. I don't really want to do many spoilers, but if you do want to see it, just like don't listen to the next 5 minutes. But basically, they become best pals. Like, Sam Rockwell and Taraji P. Henson become really good friends. and he ends up leaving the clan at the end of the movie. Like, he's just like, he comes out of it because he's got a retarded son who's like in the hospital, in like a sort of like a mental hospital, and they kind of keep that on the back burner in the background as a story. It's going on, but they don't really like focus on it too much. But you begin to realize that it's not the blacks that he has a problem with. It's just people in general, because like his son has been dealt a shit hand, and it's all fucking getting on top of him, and just life is getting on top of him. But then the clan kind of take him in, and then they sort of ascend him to like this hierarchy, and the power starts getting to him, and he's like, shit, I can get shit done here as this person. And then she totally just fucking slaps him back down to earth, and she's just kind of like, you don't need to be that guy, that's all bullshit. And kind of like, she does something for the son that nobody is willing to do, and that's when they become friends. And when I was reading into it, it's like this staunch fucking like racist, like he didn't start out that way, but he gets that way. This absolute racist who in this movie is saying some horrendous fucking shit. When you read the true story, he's probably done more for the civil rights movement than most other like well black people, basically. Like, he's done a fucking shit ton for them. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, that's a pretty fucking heartwarming story. Yeah, it took me by surprise, that one. Yeah, so yeah, Best of Enemies. If you get a chance to see it, give it a watch.
I would watch that.
It's a talk movie, which we love, and it's Sam Rockwell and the fuck out of things.
Which we also love.
Not one dance scene though.
Well, I'm not watching it.
I know, right? Like, I was sitting waiting there, like, when he was in his clan robes, when he was in his clan robes, same thing. When he was in his robes, I was expecting him just to start doing like a little Sam Rockwell cheeky dance. Didn't happen. He doesn't wear the robes, because that would have been the end of it. I would have turned it off. I'm not having my Sam Rockwell wearing robes.
Hashtag not your Sam Rockwell.
Hashtag, yeah, definitely.
Angry face on Facebook. Outrage petition.
So what else you been watching?
I'm out of movies, but I've got a couple of TV shows.
Cool, man.
First one is a show that's been on Channel 4. I'm not quite sure if it's finished yet or not, but the box set's on Sky. On all 4. It is called Year of the Rabbit.
Ooh.
And it has Matt Berry in it.
Oh, is this the one you put on and you showed me the other week? Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Is it good? Comedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Matt Berry,
it's set in Victorian London.
Yeah.
And it's like a police show in Victorian London. It is so fucking fun. It really is. They've got one of the big reasons. Obviously, Matt Berry is incredible.
Yeah.
But one of the main characters in it is John Merrick, the Elephant Man.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
And so they have John Merrick as a campus Christmas artiste queen.
Why not?
And the guy who plays him is actually he's a relatively well-known actor. I can't remember what the name of the guy is. Hold on. Doesn't matter. It's his story and it's good. But yeah, the guy who plays John Merrick is fucking funny as fuck. Any scene that they've got John Merrick in, I just bloody crying my eyes out with laughter. There's a bit where, in I think episode 3, where he's got to Matt Berry's partner has got to go undercover in a Cockney gang, so he's teaching the guy Cockney.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bit with Taika Waititi in it, actually. And it's just fucking hilarious.
Taika's awesome. Taika is awesome. Did you watch any more of the What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah, finished it.
You finished it.
Yeah.
I need to go back to it. I've not had a chance.
Thingied for a season 2.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
Excellent, excellent.
So if you want someone that's, I think it's going to be very Marmite-y.
Mm-hmm.
You'll either absolutely love it and think it's funny as fuck, or think, Chris, what the buggery bollocky hell are you going on about?
Probably that one,
Probably that one. But yeah, Year of the Rabbit, if it is your cup of tea, you're in for a good laugh.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
This is the last movie I'm going to talk about. Probably wouldn't make you laugh too much. Low budget British movie. Got sent my way. Scott Adkins is in it. Love a bit of Scott Adkins. He's like sort of British martial artist and all that. He's been in fucking ton of films. This movie was basically the main thing that got me was the cast list. Movie's called Avengement. It's a typical British sort of like guy is in jail, gets out of jail, goes on a bit of a revenge spree. But with a little bit of a difference. Not that much of a difference. So it's Scott Adkins. His brother is sort of like a local gangster, big time gangster. He is meant to throw a fight. He doesn't throw the fight. He wins the fight, leaving egg on his brother's face. Nobody kind of respects his brother that much anymore. So, yeah. He then goes and asks his brother for some money. His brother's like, well, you can have the money. His brother's played by Craig Fairbrass. You know, British actor. He was in EastEnders for a while. He does like the Rise of the Foot Soldier movies. Like, he's in loads of shit right now. So he's like, right, you can have the money, but you have to do this job for me. Goes to do the job goes sideways. He ends up in prison. When he gets in prison, everyone and anyone is trying to kill him, and he's got no real idea why. He's just getting battered left, right, and centre. So he sort of decides that he's gonna turn himself into fucking stone. He's gonna learn how to fight properly. Even though he was already pretty handy. He's gonna turn himself into granite. People's gonna keep coming at him. He's just gonna take them out. So like he goes in quite a mild-mannered guy who's handy with his fists. He comes out an absolute fucking lunatic. Because he finds out sort of after the 4th or 5th time that he's being attacked, he finds out that his brother has put sort of a bounty on him kind of thing.
Shit.
And you find out later on that it's kind of like his brother thought he was snitching on him. He wasn't snitching on him. But yeah, he spends his whole time just like in solitary, fucking bulking himself up, making himself rock hard. Just he loses a few teeth, gets them replaced with nice silver ones, gets cut on the face. He's not pretty in it by the end. And something happens that he gets out on day release. People will probably guess what that is if you know anything about the prison system. So he gets out on day release, and when they take him back, he just absolutely leathers the fuck out of the police that are with him. Escapes and goes out into the world and ends up at a pub. And in that pub is Sean from This Is England.
Oh.
Leo Gregory, who played Bother in the Green Street movie back in the day.
I know that name.
Leo Gregory's been in fucking loads of stuff. Absolutely fantastic British actor. A couple of guys who you'll have seen from movies like Redcon, other British sort of films, like they're quite handy with their fists, good martial artists, good stunt guys. And the barmaid is one Kirsten Waring.
Oh shit, I'm in.
So straight away I was like, yeah. And he kind of he's like, pour me a pint, Bez. And she's like, get your own fucking pint, you cunt. So straight away I'm like, Kirsten Waring, I'm fucking in. So they kind of spend the day in this pub. He's kind of holding them hostage till his brother gets there so it can all fucking kick off. And while they're waiting, a proper shootout. So while they're waiting for him, he sort of relays the story of the last couple of years, what's been happening in prison via flashback to them. And Nick Moran's in it as well. Remember Nick Moran from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? I think
was he in Football Factory?
No, not Nick Moran. No, he's been in loads though. You'd recognise his face. You would absolutely recognise him. I fucking love this movie. I've watched a fair few Scott Adkins movies over the years, but I couldn't actually remember him playing just like a hard nut psychopath. He's usually the good guy. Like he's usually the protagonist of the movie. And he's the protagonist in this movie. He's just not a very nice one. But this was completely different from him. And I fucking loved it.
Okay.
Literally sat there the whole time loving this movie. Like low budget, gritty British. You know, you can't go wrong. Kirsten Waring's in there. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm actually really fucking enjoying this film. And he's kicking the shit out of people. But it's like, you know how in the Raid, when they're having the big fights, and they have some of those hits that look like they hit harder, they film it that way, don't they? So they'd say, oh, shit. there's not really much of that in this film. It's just like straight up close quarter fighting. And it's kind of like The Raid, but they don't really do the hard hits until the end, like the last 10, 15 minutes, you have a few hard hits. But I found that quite refreshing.
Aye, there's no big choreographed Buffy type fights or anything like that. It's just
like this,
punch that guy really hard.
It's choreographed fights, obviously, because like it's stunt guys and whatnot. But it didn't look choreographed. It just looked like they were knocking the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not, like a big martial arts fight where...
But do you know what I mean? Like, when you have that moment that just looks like it hit harder than any other kick. And they do that a lot now. I've noticed they do that a hell of a lot now. The Raid did it as well. Not as much, but the Raid did do it. It was, especially the second one, it was a little bit guilty of it. But I found it very refreshing. Just to, like, not get those big hits. Mm-hmm. It looked like they were actually scrapping. Which, I found it refreshing as fuck. But yeah, Avengement, if you get a chance, definitely. There's he's got 2 other movies out just now, Scott Adkins as well. One of them, Triple Threat, which has Eco in it. Fucking great. Really fucking good. Eco and Tony Jaa as well, who's also like another big time like kung fuist. But yeah, you should check out Triple Threat as well. But Avengement, 100%, it's a great film. And Kirsten Warren, can't go wrong.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm sure there's one point he's like, that last pint tasted like piss, and she's just kind of, that's because I poured the drip tray in your glass, you prick. And I'm just sitting there going, I love her. So what else have you been watching?
Quick one. It's on Amazon. The show is called Too Old to Die Young.
Ooh.
With Miles Teller.
All right, nice.
Yeah, don't
nice.
crap.
Oh, shit.
On Netflix, that's it. It's so boring.
Okay.
Like, from the blurb, I thought, that might be all right.
From Miles Teller, I thought,
Aye. No, it's so dull. It is so fucking dull. Yeah. Jessica Jones 3?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It was actually fucking really good.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done.
Yeah. Shit canned.
Well, they ended it, basically. So, but the season 1 of Jessica Jones was so good because of Tennant's Big Bad.
Yeah.
And I think that's where season 2 fell down. There was no real, there was no quality Big Bad in there, but they correct that in season 3.
Bring back Tennant.
The Big Bad is he's not got like superpowers or anything like that, but he's kind of like really, really, really smart, and he's sort of 2 steps ahead of her. And ready to sort of frame her and all that kind of thing. There's a lot of sort of ill feeling towards people with abilities.
Right.
I guess after like the Defenders and
right, yeah.
what happened in the Defenders and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of ill feeling towards people with abilities, and her in particular, because she doesn't hide. She doesn't hide. She is what she is.
Yeah.
So this guy is just a right shit, basically. He's a serial killer.
Sweet. We like them.
And he knows exactly how to get away with it, exactly what to do, exactly how to hide it, and exactly how to outsmart her pretty much at really the entire series. And because of that, I think it was a good series. Which is a shame, same as Daredevil 3. That was the best series yet for me.
Yeah.
And it got canned. So we might see them again at on the Disney streaming service, maybe, possibly, but fuck knows.
Doesn't sound like it right now.
No.
No, they're
but,
not really.
yeah, Jessica Jones 3 is worth a watch. Yeah, I would recommend people give it a go.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about any more than that.
I'm not going to. I've not really been watching much TV. The only one I've really watched is the one that you know of. I think we both watched it. It came out on the 4th of July. 47 million Netflix users. have binged the fuck out of it.
Tell you what, hold on before you start talking about that, because that's going to...
So yeah, seems like everybody's been watching this. Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get on then?
Slow burn.
I don't think it was a slow burn.
I thought the first 2 episodes were very slow. Not very slow, I just thought they were pretty damn slow. I thought I wanted to just get straight into it kind of thing. But once you get to like episode 3 onwards, it just fucking straight blasts itself straight to the end. And as we know, well, as I've texted you a million times this week, yeah, that last episode. But we'll get there. We'll get there. How did you get on with Stranger Things?
I loved it.
I did love it.
I loved it from start to finish. I don't necessarily think it was a slow burn. I think, okay, so it did a little bit of setup to let us know where all of the characters are. You know, some of them have gotten into relationships and some of them have turned into arseholes.
Oh, yeah, it's all about relationships.
And, yeah, so the first episode, maybe... half of it, 3/4 of it was a bit of setup. But I think that's needed. I don't necessarily think that's a problem with it.
I don't really think it's a problem. No, I just kind of like, because the last series ended. Was it the last series that ended with Will seeing the thing above the school and then getting like it went into him kind of thing?
That was season 1, wasn't it?
No, that was the last season. Season 1 ended with him at the sink.
That's right.
Season 2 ended with him at the prom, and he was kind of just standing there, and it was above the school, and then it all went into him, and like, you know, sort of a precursor to what was going to happen in this series. But like, I kind of thought because it ended there, obviously maybe not start there, but I thought we'd get a little bit of something, and we kind of had to wait till, I think it was like episode 2, halfway through episode 2, we kind of got that.
And they did reference that happening, didn't they? You know what? I binged the shit out of it, and I'm going to have to watch it again. In fact, I've been fancying watching the thing from the start, but that's what you're going to do. He didn't get a great deal to do in that one. He was kind of put to the side a little bit.
It was.
Didn't you say that there was a lot of stuff online about because he's not got a girlfriend in it, he's gay?
Oh yeah, apparently Will Byers is gay, mostly because Mike says that line to him that it's not my fault you don't like girls.
Well, I don't think we should be talking about anything that Mike says because he's an arsehole.
Mike is a grade A asshole this whole fucking series. Even by the end of it, I don't really think I got like any sense of you're not an asshole. Like I genuinely just didn't like that character right the way through. I just thought, especially when it did that thing with Hopper. I think you mentioned it.
Oh yeah, the
Upwonder trying to have the heart to heart. He, for me, as a parent and a human being and a person, he had every right to smash that kid in the face.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a parent, and I still want to kill him.
Yeah, I was kind of just sat there like, oh, you little bastard. Punch him.
See, I actually, when it got to that scene, and he's trying to have the heart-to-heart with them, I thought, and he did that, like whispered in Elle's ear, I thought, no, he's dreaming. That's got to be like a dream sequence, because that is so cunty.
It is, and it kind of felt out of character for Mike. Like, when did Mike just become this little twat? He was the character you were supposed to, like... He was you. Like, Mike was kind of you in the show. Turns out not so much. But, like, he was the character that you were supposed to, like, cheer for.
Yeah.
Him and Elle are supposed to be the partnership you cheer for. And I found myself in this series just being like, he's a little twat, and she's doing this too much. Like, the hand thing, like, that went way too far this series.
It kind of became a Peggy Sue type deal, where anytime you wanted or needed like a big bad to be taken out, just have Elle go with her hands. I did feel like that a little bit,
It didn't bother me. It just kind of like, I was like, really? We're just going to do this again?
She just screamed louder every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there you go. But no, Michael's a complete twat.
Let's talk about somebody who wasn't a complete twat. Dustin.
Dustin, bless him.
He stole this series.
He stole the last two series as well, to be fair.
I'll give you that. Especially this little bromance that him and Steve have. I love this little relationship between him and Steve. And it was kind of like, she kept taking the piss out of Steve. Robin kept taking the piss out of Steve for like having friends that were kids. But like him and Dustin together, it just works. They're just a good little double act. And I love the fact that like everybody's like, oh, Susie's fake. Susie doesn't exist. It's a fake girlfriend. Except for Steve. He just 100% buys into the fact that he met this amazingly hot girl who's like smarter than any other lass they've ever met. He just buys it because it's Dustin. And yeah, that whole little relationship between the three of them, and then you throw Erica into the mix, and you had like a really strong four-piece with them. They kind of, for me, stole the entire series, those four characters.
Yeah.
They were
Erica
so
was
good.
Great.
She was fantastic. Like, I don't know what, like, because when you saw her, I think it was like in the first episode when they all went into the mall and you just got like a split shot of her, and then I realised that it was Lucas's sister. I was kind of like, well, that's her done. And then she popped up again, and I'm like, okay, this might actually be a character. And then all of a sudden, she was kind of thrown into the forefront of the show, and I was like, she's a really fucking good character.
I just love that we were introduced to her as someone who was just, I want that freebie there.
Yeah.
And that freebie there. And I thought, you're fucking awesome.
She is cool. I loved her. She's a great character. I love Robin. Although, and I know you didn't really have a problem with it, but they did something with Robin's character towards the end that I didn't like. But I think that's because I was crushing on them two getting together so hard all the way through the show. I'm like, they have to get together. They have to. And then they did that, which I suppose... I
liked how they did that.
It's ballsy. It's gutsy for the writers, not making her a lesbian or anything. I mean, fucking, you can have lesbian characters in your show. But I think it's quite gutsy to build them two up and to keep having Dustin being like, she's perfect for you and all that. Like it's a relationship that is so obviously going to happen, and then she brings that out, and you're kind of like, okay. Didn't see that coming.
You weren't okay, were you?
No, I wasn't, because I really wanted them two together.
Yeah.
And when he like slid under the stall, I was like, just kiss her anyway. But I think that's like non-consensual and stuff.
That's a bit rapey.
Yeah.
That was a little bit.
Yeah, I love those characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked how they did that. I thought that was some good writing.
It is good writing. I'm with you there. Just, I want them together.
You were rooting for those two crazy kids to get together.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'm a shipper. I ship things. It's okay. It's okay.
What the fucking shit was that?
Hopper and Joyce. You
yeah.
You like that double act?
Yeah, I loved it as well. I was texting you as I was watching it. Winona Ryder pretty much stole every scene that she was in.
She's good. She is good. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to get. Do we want to get into major spoilers because it's not been out that long?
I don't think it matters. I think everybody's watching it.
Okay. Yeah, kind of did think on the final episode. Yeah, if anybody's going to be even thinking of getting into a relationship with you, love, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe become a nun.
Probably not. You weirdo.
But she's great. Winona Ryder is great in it.
They were fantastic together. Hopper and Joyce, the two of them playing off each other. David Harbour. There's a lot of shit online about David Harbour as well, being like this toxic masculinity type character and all that, because like he's so jaded and shit, and the way he talks to Elle and the way he talks to Joyce. That is, for me, I actually thought that was a really well written character.
It's a character from the 1980s.
Yeah.
It's a dad from the 1980s.
Let's not forget the show is in the 1980s.
Who's had a fucking hard paper round. And
Like, there's people going nuts about his character and all that. I don't get it, because I feel like, and especially when you get that ending, you know why he did everything he did. You know why he acts the way he acts. You know why he is who he is. You get that.
But he's trying to protect Elle from...
Exactly.
You know, being found out and experimented on, basically.
But people can't have that. He's a toxic male. But yeah, so you kind of had that going on. You had Hopper and Joyce, and quickly Murray. Murray's awesome. Loved Murray. The guy that helps translate.
Oh yeah.
So he's amazing. And then you have Alexei / Smirnoff, who is just fucking incredible. Such a good character.
Class as well.
Like, the type of guy that if I saw in the pub, I'd probably punch him in the face. But once I got to know him, I'd be alright. He was awesome. He was good. Have you seen like the videos on YouTube where it's sort of like an 80s detective TV show starring Hopper and Joyce as like his teammate, and then you've got like Murray sort of like the tech whiz, and they've made like from scenes from the show, they've put together like a detective show, like just like the opening credits, and then obviously you've got like Alexei's the big bad, and it's just him with the Slurpee.
I've not seen that though.
I'll see if I can find it and I'll send it to you. It's pretty funny. Like, it's just the opening credits for the show, but I'm like, yeah, I'd watch that. It works. It totally works.
So Stranger Things 4, where do we think we're going?
I think there was a reference in the last episode that I think is quite telling of where we might be going, when Dusty meets up with the rest of them, and he's talking about the Russians, and he's like, we have a Red Dawn situation in Hawkins. I think that's where we might be going. The Ruskies are going to invade Hawkins.
Bastards.
Oh, fucking to a man. Yeah, they're going to invade Hawkins, and we're going to have a Red Dawn situation.
Nice.
We already kind of have the US military who've come in to sort of, well, I suppose when you get the tying up endings, they've probably gone by then. But yeah, I think that reference is there. It's just a throwaway line, but I think it's a very telling line. Considering the post-credits scene, I'm like, yeah, that might be where we're going.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that. I would kind of like if we could just be kind of done with the Upside Down. I would like to see if we could move away from that a little bit.
Do another... I quite liked what they did with that in this series, because it was different, or it was slightly different anyway, that, you know, they were like possessing people.
Yeah.
And you still got the creepy looking big bad at the end of the
he was cool.
So yeah, I think they could still have the Upside Down, but they need to keep on doing that.
Yeah.
Like, keep it fresh. Like, there's something else in the Upside Down that's coming through.
Yeah, you could go down that road. I'm maybe a little bit jaded by the Upside Down now, because when they kind of went below the mall and they had all the Russians doing the experiments, I'm like, really? Another doorway? I was kind of like, how many doorways? Like, what do we do next? Like, we go another 100 feet down the ground, there's another fucking doorway?
That could happen.
Probably will happen. So, what did you think of the couples and the gooseberry? Because that was a big thing in this series. You had Max. Is it Max? Mike. You had Mike and 11. You had Lucas and Maxine, and then you had Will as obviously the gay of the group. What did you think of all that?
Well, first of all, fuck that he's gay. That is, like...
No, he is. The internet said so.
The internet said so, did it? Yeah. Alright, okay.
Look, and then when the Duffer Brothers, the creators, turn around and say, no, he's not gay, there'll be a petition to make him gay.
You can have a character who is a teenage kid who isn't interested in girls yet and just wants to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Well,
that's okay. You're allowed to do that.
Let's be honest, right? We got introduced to Will with his pals playing Dungeons and Dragons, and then he's biking home and ends up in the Upside Down. Spends pretty much the entire first series in the Upside Down, And then the second series, he pretty much gets possessed and fucking pulled to the Upside Down again. Maybe, just maybe, he does actually just want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
I think that would vex you a little bit.
It would. I don't know if it would make me gay. It might.
Well, you're
I'm halfway there.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, that was my take on it. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, of course he doesn't want to go out with girls and fucking gets torn into lasses and all that. Like you say, he's a young lad. He's been through some shit in the last couple of years. His mum's a fucking cuckoo bird. So maybe he does just want to play Dungeons and Dragons with his mates.
I mean, if they want to write him, okay, so it turns out he's gay. Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, just because he doesn't have a girlfriend in season 3, and he wants to play D&D, doesn't mean to say that the character's gay from that.
Yeah.
I think why there's no reason to do that. Just have the character be what the character is.
Personally, I think Mike's projecting.
I think Mike should fuck off.
I think Mike's gay. I think he wants to bum Will.
Blimey.
In the Upside Down.
Took me a second.
I might be wrong. Yeah. But yeah, have any standout moments from the season?
I can't think of a single one. How about you, Kevin?
Oh, man. I mean, I set myself up for that one, and it totally backfired. But yeah, no, the season finale, Dustin and Susie singing over the CB, never-ending story. Amazing. Fucking amazing. You will never know. For someone who felt like he was half dying and full of pills at the time, watching that and having that come up and them two singing, for a second I was wondering if I was actually still watching Stranger Things. But
you're looking at your arm again.
Aye, but when Never Ending Story came on and when Dusty starts singing Never Ending Story, I had this huge, and I could feel it. I had this massive shit-eating grin just right across my face. I was like, this is the best moment in TV history right now. This scene of the season. There was some good stuff happening this year. Mind, it was fucking gory this year as well. There was a lot of gore. I have to admit that, because Lindsay was asking me yesterday if I thought Ruby could watch it, because Ruby must have a friend who was asked, her mum and dad asked if we thought their kid could watch it. And I'm saying to Lindsay, I was like, season 1 and 2, probably, at a stretch, you'll get away with that. Season 3 is gory as fuck, though. I'm like, I don't know if you're getting away with that, So, yeah, me and Ruby's going to rewatch the whole thing anyway, so, because I'm a bad father. But, yeah, them singing Lamal's Never-Ending Story just fucking, it kicked me square in the gonads. I was just like, best thing ever. Love it. Moment of the season. Moment of all 3 seasons, I don't get. That and Dustin at the prom at the end of season 2, when he was all looking slick and shit and went to have the dance with Nancy, and that was a good moment as well. But that moment with Susie was just even better. Yeah, Dustin gets all the best moments.
It's because he's awesome.
He is awesome. And I said to you the other night, when I look at the cast of that show, when it comes to the kids, I can see Dustin going like megastar. I can see him taking off big time after Stranger Things. I can see Millie Bobby Brown. She's going to have a decent career, especially with Godzilla and all that. She was pretty good in that. Mike's not going anywhere. Fuck Mike. Once that second It film comes out, people's going to be like, nah, fuck him. Yeah, Stranger Things season 3, I think we've spoken about it enough. Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
No. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And
you think we might get a Red Dawn situation?
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
It would be pretty cool. I love Red Dawn.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right, let's talk about Good Omens.
Yeah, just the pilot. Quick, cheeky promo, and then we'll get into it.
You've heard others, but nothing could prepare you for the shameful stupidity that is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Witness the hubris as they claim to be the world's authority on comic book movies.
Who said that? Never said that. We've never said that.
Who cares? A jock said that.
Comic book, TV, movie reviews, news, and whatever they choose. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Seriously, people really listen to this.
Jock and Nerd!
So this was your baby.
Yeah, so Good Omens from Amazon, starring David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Yeah, so David Tennant is a fallen angel, or a Roman, and Michael Sheen is an angel who's just a bit shit, really. And they've been best buds pretty much since the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, since the start of time, yeah.
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 So it touches a lot on religious lore. It's a lot.
Damn.
I did text you as I was watching it saying, yeah, I can imagine why the religiouses might get a little bit uppity about this.
Get vexed on this one.
The episode
the opening fucking scene is... Well, the opening fucking scene is a monologue narrated by God, voiced by Frances McDormand, which I'm like sitting there thinking, A, great choice, B, the religious are going to fucking hate you right now. God is a woman. I mean, Kevin Smith did it, but...
Kevin Smith did it.
And that was Alanis, so that would have pissed them off even more. Because she is
Canadian.
Fucking Canadian and depressing.
Not all of them are depressing.
Oh, she was, though. But yeah, they would be fucking vexed.
Well, did you read about... There was a petition to get it cancelled.
Oh yeah, but they petitioned Netflix.
Instead.
And Netflix said they weren't going to make any more TV shows, any more Good Omens. They refused to release any more Good Omens episodes. so then Amazon turned around and said they will no longer be making Stranger Things episodes.
Awesome. That's fucking awesome.
It just shows you how fucking retarded religion is.
Yeah, so it was religion heavy.
Yeah.
So how did you get on with that?
I only watched episode 1 and half of episode 2.
Oh, right.
And I fully flaked out halfway through episode 2.
Okay, I won't lie to you, I finished it.
Yeah, I got the feeling you would have. It is fantastic though. The first episode is so well written. I know it's Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman who I love Terry Pratchett. The Discworld novels are just fucking amazing. I absolutely love them bad boys. But it also had the foul stench of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy about it as well. It felt a little bit like that shit as well, which again, I loved Hitchhikers. That was fantastic stuff as well. But yeah, man, it's just so fucking British. So well done. Really amazingly well written. And those two, I don't know why I was surprised. I don't think I should have been surprised. But Michael Sheen and David Tennant work so well together.
Have we seen them on screen together before? I don't think we have.
I couldn't think of anything. I was sitting there thinking, surely I have, but I could not think of a single thing.
But you know what? The two of them have absolutely phenomenal chemistry together.
Oh, chemistry for days.
There is an episode, it's either episode 3 or 4, where it's basically just following them through history.
Yeah.
And just shit that's happened throughout the ages, through Roman times. They are there at the crucifixion.
Nice.
And so it just follows them throughout the ages, just gives you a feel that they're actual buddies.
Yeah, proper good mates.
And they're trying not to be, but they are actual buddies. And yeah, it's just a fucking nice chemistry. It's a good sort of buddy cop type thing.
I'm with you.
It's a really, really good show.
I'm 100% going to finish it. I can't remember why I only got halfway through episode 2, but I just totally flaked out and just came back to it and realised that it was finished. I think it was episode 3 was starting or something like that, and I was like, well, I can't. I'm going to have to go back. But I love the premise. I love the whole thing about the Antichrist and everything, and they got the wrong fucking kid. I love that. I was actually... even though I knew they'd switched the wrong kid, when they realised they'd switched the wrong kid, I was howling. I was just like, that is just amazing, just the way they did it. John Hamm. Like, I've seen John Hamm do little bits of comedy, but he's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure he's meant to be. Like, I think he's playing it quite straight, but because he's playing I
think he's playing it straight, but it is meant to be.
Aye.
Yeah.
Like, just, he's great.
Did you ever see the show that he did with Daniel Radcliffe?
The Notebook, the Doctor's Notebook.
Aye.
I never watched it, but
I've
seen
like
bits and pieces.
Like Russia back in the day.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
That is very good and fucking very funny. And Daniel Radcliffe has got some comedy chops about him as well.
I believe that, yeah.
So you will be going back to it?
100%. I'm going to be finishing it.
Think we'll get season 2? Think they'll be that brave?
Hopefully.
I think they will.
It's Amazon Prime. They've got nothing to lose.
No spoilers, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doable.
That was the main thing that really got me, was like how well they work together. And you're right, it did make me think, how have I not seen these two together before? I must have seen them together. Two British actors like that, you must have seen them somewhere. But their chemistry's just fucking gold. Absolute gold. Like, from the very start, when they were kind of like stood on the wall outside the Garden of Eden, when they've watched Adam and Eve kind of walk out, and he's just kind of like, what is it? He goes, well, what if we got it wrong? Is it, what if I've actually done the right thing and you've done the wrong thing? And Michael Sheen's just kind of like, oh, well, I guess we're both fucked then.
And the flaming sword keeps coming back as well.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I like that. And Adam and Eve being black. Yeah. Oh, that'll have kicked off in the Westboro Baptist fucking church. Again, straight away, as soon as I saw that, I was like, ooh, they be fucking angry. But it doesn't end there, so.
It does not. It most certainly does not. Yeah, so that was Good Omens.
Good Omens.
Now, would you like to know what we're going to watch next?
Oh, go on then. Have you got one? You've got one.
I have got one. It's on, I think it's on Channel 4 right now. It is Catch 22.
Ooh.
Starring
I feel like I've heard
George
of
Clooney, Christopher Abbott, Kyle Chandler, you like that?
Ooh.
Hugh Laurie. That's pretty much the main names in it.
You see, Joe Gilgun's got a new Sky One show coming.
See?
Brassic, it's called. I watched the trailer this morning. It looks really good. I don't think it's like the end of August or something.
Right.
But it's called Brassic. There's somebody else in it as well. I was like, oh, sweet. But as soon as I saw Joe Gilgun, I was like, I'm watching that.
Oh, yeah. So, Catch 22. Arnold Dodger Yozerian, I'm going to probably say that now, is a bombardier in the US Air Force during World War II, who is upset that thousands of people who he has never met are trying to kill him. His biggest problem isn't the enemy, though. It's that his own army. It's his own army that keeps increasing the number of missions soldiers must fly in order to complete their service. And if Yozerian tries to make an attempt to avoid his assignments, he'll be in a violation of Catch 22, a bureaucratic rule that states that a man is considered insane. Shut up, Kev. It's a comedy, I think.
It's a comedy.
A comedy series. Google wouldn't lie to us, Kev.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck off. That's what we're watching. And
what is with George Clooney and his fucking politicalness? It's all got to be political with George Clooney now. Can he not just make Ocean's 14?
Historical, if anything.
Okay. I'll give it a watch. I look forward to watching it. Kyle Chandler. Can't lose. What?
No. So, right, let's top 5 this shit.
Let's go on to our top 5, but first up, cheeky promo.
Hey, it's Brian.
And it's Tony.
From the Salty Language Podcast. We're a podcast with two friends that have, been around each other for, like 70 years or something, and, we talk about kind of everything.
We're like a married couple that you hate.
Yeah, basically something like that. No, we talk about, just weird news, stuff that happens in our life, pop culture, really anything. It's, we just have a nice conversation and make up stuff along the way. So, yeah. And I guess, you can find us at saltylanguage.com.
For sure. And I'm sure you'll be fine.
Well, also, you can find us on dangerentertainment.net.
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.net, in case you missed it the first time.
Top 5 TV show cliffhangers, finales, fucking whatever.
TV show cliffhangers.
Aye, but it can also be a finale that ended with a cliffhanger.
It can be either a TV... Stop it! You're confusing me.
Yeah,
so
finales
TV
end with
show
cliffhangers.
It can be, if you will, be a season finale or a cliffhanger of a two-parter.
Right, okay.
You just made it way, way complicated, or than it needed to be.
No, I think you did. I think what I said, because a lot of finales do end with cliffhangers, unless it's like the finale of the show.
Well, that's what I was going for, you dumbass.
Okay.
God. Fucking come on then, get on with it.
Right, so I am going to start with my number 5.
Well, shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, my number 5 is a mid-season finale.
Well, damn.
Because remember, that became a thing a few years ago. Like
yeah, shit.
5-6 years ago, they started doing mid-season finales, which is when they decided we're going to split up 24 episodes into 12 episodes.
Oh yeah.
So we can con
money.
So we can con idiots into thinking we're no longer making 24 episode series. So this mid-season finale was season 3 of a TV show, that I'll be completely honest, I gave up watching after this mid-season finale because they screwed up when they came back. It was the TV show Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Remember season 3?
Oh, yeah. Ollie was dead.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul stabbed Ollie at the top of the cliff and then kicked him off the cliff. And it was like, damn! It was amazing. All the fans, all the nerds, the internet went into fucking meltdown with this. And the theories were abound. And it was kind of like when the show comes back for the second part of the series, Ollie's not going to be in it. They were like, we're not going to have Arrow in there. It's going to be the rest of them fighting crime, and we're not going to see Stephen Amell, Oliver Queen, for quite some time. So the show came back. We had one episode without Stephen Amell, and then they pretty much brought him back. And it was like, well, you fucked that storyline up.
Did we get one episode without him?
We did get one.
Didn't
it was
the answer what happened within like the first half hour?
No, it was like it came back. They were all sort of like learning how to deal with it as a team. And then I'm pretty sure it was like the last scene of the episode was like Ollie in the snow at the bottom of the cliff and somebody's feet. You know, that old thing. But we were kind of promised by the showrunners and by the producers, Greg Berlanti and all that, we were pretty much promised, yeah, we ain't getting a resolution to that anytime soon. So in our heads, it's like, well, yeah, we're going to get a good, like, 5 or 6 episodes when the season comes back of, like, everybody just trying to fucking fight crime without Ollie and that. But no, we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. It was, like, 3 episodes. He was back to fucking fake Gotham. He was back there and he was fighting crime again. And it was like, what a load of shit. That's when I stopped watching Arrow. It was round about then. Flash got ditched pretty much the same time. But that was, like... Yeah, that pissed me off because that ending when Matt Nable as fucking Ra's al Ghul stabbed him, I didn't see it coming. I knew it was a mid-season finale. I knew like you're going to end up with a cliffhanger and all that, and I thought, oh, he might get hurt. But I didn't see Ra's al Ghul fully stabbing him and kicking him off the cliff. That to me was like never going to happen, and it totally did. So it took me by surprise. It was a very good cliffhanger to end on, literally. And yeah, Arrow season 3.
That's a good pick. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's see here. Okay, right. My number 5. I am going to go with Star Trek The Next Generation.
Ooh.
It is the season 3 finale. It's it's like the Enterprise's first proper encounter with the Borg.
Ooh.
Captain Picard has been stolen, and he has been assimilated, and he's
seen everything.
He's already seen it. Yeah. And so the final shot of season 3 is I've just deleted my bloody notes. Bastard. No, it's there. Yeah. Captain Picard has become a Borg. And yeah, that's it. Fade to black. End of season 3.
Remember it well.
Wait a year to find out what the fuck happens.
He's a bog. That's what happens.
Yeah, he did.
He did. But he's already seen everything. No, I remember that. Like, that was like, I think Star Trek at the time, like, especially over here, I think over in America it was probably bigger, but I don't think the fans, the culture really took to it over here that much.
It took a while for TNG to kick in.
But I remember that being a massive thing over here. I remember people talking about that, like friends talking about like Next Generation. Did you watch it last night?
They did what? To our national hero?
Exactly, yeah. He's not gay.
He's British.
But yeah.
Aye, so
I do remember that.
Borg.
I remember that being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, my number 4 is season 1, Aaron Sorkin, The West Wing.
Yep, I've got that on my list.
This was one that, to be perfectly honest, it didn't jump out straight away until I was kind of having a little look around, and it was on a couple of lists, and I was like, shit, that was a fucking good ending. And it wasn't that long ago that I was rewatching The West Wing. I don't actually think I got past like season 2, to be honest. I was kind of like going through them all, and I just remember that being one of those kind of... The West Wing always had like the knack of ending well. Like every episode always ended well, but that one was,
it was
like
a procedural. It was
the
Blue Bloods. It was always back to where they started.
Exactly. And on that one, you had like it kind of started with the episode started with like a Secret Service agent sensing trouble, and then sort of like tells you it goes back to the start of the day, sort of like as the West Wing often did. And at the end of the episode, there's like a shootout with like snipers and everything. Everyone's getting shot at. You see all of your, pretty much all of your core cast,
all sort of hit the deck.
All hitting the deck, and fades to black kind of thing. And all you hear is who's been hit. You know, it's like right over the black, like the fade to black, and you just hear like on the radio who's been hit, and that was like, fuck, like The West Wing is such a well-written show. I mean, Aaron Sorkin fucking writes just gorgeous stuff. But I remember like watching that the first time, going through The West Wing, and just like that did actually fucking frighten me, because I love everybody on that cast.
Mm.
Like every character, I can't actually name a single character on The West Wing, which is a rare thing for a TV show.
Oh yeah.
There's always somebody you can't stand, but there's not one person on The West Wing where I'm like, well, I'd be alright if it's him. Or if it's her, like, I'd be alright with that. And I was literally like, shit, they might have just killed my favourite. But no matter who they killed, you know.
The other one, the other cliffhanger that I thought of with The West Wing was, I'm not sure which season it was in. Do you remember when John Goodman came into it?
Yes.
Because Zoe had been kidnapped.
Aye.
But I couldn't remember if it was a two-parter or if it was just like an arc.
I think that was more of an arc. It was like a good 3 or 4
John Goodman
episodes.
was in the episodes for a good 2 or 3 episodes.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So I couldn't remember if it was an actual cliffhanger for a two-parter. So I didn't put it in. But
no, I think it was like...
Zoe had gone missing, and so to protect the presidency, he resigned.
Mm.
And then... yeah, shake a wheel.
As it does. So what's your number 4?
Okay, right. I'm going to go with... Now, you may well laugh at me, but fuck it. I'm going to go Friends.
The wedding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Season 4 finale.
Load of pish.
Ross is getting married to Emily, and it says, I take thee, Rachel. And then it ends.
Gay.
And well, fuck yourself.
Yeah, like I did see that on a lot of people's lists, and I was just kind of like, really? Like, I remember it. I remember watching it. I remember watching it on like Channel 4.
I fucking loved Friends when it was on.
Yeah, I just couldn't get with Friends.
Too happy for you.
Yeah, it's just way too happy, too racist and homophobic.
It's not racist or homophobic. Shut the fuck up.
It just wasn't for me. I didn't like Friends. I wasn't a big Friends person. I still don't like having friends either.
Well, yeah, no, it's fucking difficult at the best of times. What?
So, my number 3 is... Yeah. So this is a British show. It was a British show. It's a little bit cheating because there is sort of a little bit of a resolution at the end of the series. But This Is England 86. You know, the first season when Lol kills her dad, and then Combo takes the blame, and you do get a little bit because like you see Combo going to jail, you see Lol and Woody kind of like having a moment and all that. But I'll never forget, like the thing with Shane Meadows is that he horrifies you. He absolutely horrifies you. Like his writing is visceral as fuck. He directs just unbelievable stuff. He takes you through the ringer. He tears you apart. And the thing with This Is England 86, unlike the other two series, because there's some grim shit happens in the other two series, but like when the second series ended, I kind of felt like, yeah, there wasn't a nice little bow on it, but there was a bow on it.
Yeah.
And then the third series ended, there's a nice little bow. You know, it's like you're not really wondering what's going on with these characters past the third series. I would love to see This Is England 90 if they...
I don't think it was that kind of show, though, where you had big dramatic cliffhangers. It was like, This Is England, this is...
But Season 1 did, to me, have a pretty big cliffhanger, because it was like, right, Combo's getting sent down, he's going to jail. How does Lol keep this secret from Woody? Like, how does she keep it from her sister? How does she keep it from Kelly, who Kelly doesn't even know that her dad raped Trev? It's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I remember finishing Season 1, and I didn't have any resolution. Like, you kind of had the fact that Lol had killed her dad, and you fucking punched the air, and you were screaming at the TV going, get on, lass, you know? You loved it. But I finished that series thinking, well, what the fuck happens now? Like, yeah, there's a little bit of a bow, but that is, their lives are even more fucked now. Like, they're all dealing with some serious fucking demons now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and you're telling me I'm going to have to wait? And the pace that Shane Meadows works, I ain't got a fucking clue when this next series is coming. You know, like, I believe we had to wait like 3 years before the next series.
Was it really?
It was long.
See, I never watched it when it was actually on at the time. I watched it all in one go, which is not a good idea.
Not a good idea. It was a good 2 to 3 years before the second season came out, and then there was even longer for the third season. No, third season was 2 years. But yeah, that first series, when it finished, like, as happy as I was, and as like as sort of like I'd gone through the emotions and that, I was just kind of like, well, what do we do now? Like, what the fuck do we do now? Like, Lol's carrying this now, and we can't have Lol carrying that burden because we love Lol.
We do love Lol.
We do love Lol. Vicky McClure, you are a legend. But This Is England 86, the first series, season finale. It left me on tenterhooks for a good long time. And like I say, with Shane Meadows, you don't know when that next series is coming. Interestingly enough, while I was going through making my list and all that, I went on Wikipedia and I was having a look at the last series of This Is England and movie. Apparently we may be finishing off, instead of a This Is England 90 TV show, we may be getting a movie to bookend the whole thing, because obviously it started with the movie, 3 series movie. So apparently that's Shane Meadows' big plan now. He wants to make another movie. I'm guessing because he can't get everyone in for a series, because they're all fucking sky high now. You know, Line of Duty.
Yeah,
she's kicking ass with that. Fucking Gilgun's over in America doing his preacher thing, and you know, it's kind of, they've all kicked off, like, so I'm guessing that might be why it is schedules and stuff.
Stephen Graham would do it.
100%.
Yeah.
He'd do anything for Meadows, you know he would. Yeah.
Aye. So, my number 3 is... Ooh, right, okay. Yeah. I am going to go with Sherlock and the Reichenbach Fall.
I thought about it.
Because similar to what you just said, you get a little wee bit of a resolution.
Yeah.
But everybody believes that he's dead.
Yeah.
You get that just amazing monologue from Martin Freeman by his grave. But it does leave you thinking, and it's similar to Shane Meadows. So when the fuck are we going to find out what the hell happens here?
Exactly with that show.
And it did leave you thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah, I thought about it. I did actually think about that one. It is a great ending.
And that Martin Freeman moment, man, where he's going like, just stop this, just stop it.
Yeah,
it's great. It's just great. Yeah. So Sherlock.
So, my number 2. This is another show that I pretty much. I mean, I didn't stop watching after this series, but I kind of wished I had. Dexter season 4.
I knew that was going to be on your list. It's also on mine, but I thought I would let you have it.
He gets the win. He catches the Trinity Killer, John Lithgow. Fucking amazing bad guy. Best series of Dexter by a fucking country mile.
It's probably the best season of a lot of shows.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Aye, and then they ruin it. But he catches Trinity Killer, gets his man, goes home to celebrate with his wife, who is in the bath, and she dead. And his baby is lying in a pool of blood on the floor in the bathroom, sitting. And I'll never forget just sitting there thinking, wow. Like, you know, I've seen shows where they kill main characters. I've seen shows like that. You know, you've got your Game of Thrones, they kill your main characters all the time. You got your 24 when they killed Terry Bauer in season 1. It's like, you know, you got these shows that kill main characters. But never in a million years did I think Dexter was going to kill Rita. Not like Dexter killed Rita. I didn't think the show was going to kill Rita off. Especially only in season 4, which is still kind of a show that's finding its feet. And they did that, and they have the kid in the pool of blood, just like Dexter was. Oh man, it's creepy as shit. It's fucking gorgeous, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I thought it'd be your number 1.
No, because my number 1 is actually really obvious.
Okay. Okay.
So what is your number 2?
All right then. Right, let's see. What's my number 2? Okay. I am going to go. Right, fuck it. I'm going to go Doctor Who.
Lost my voice. Sorry.
Victor Wax detail. I'm trying to get Aaron Goodmiller into Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
He's never seen it.
He seems the sort that would like it.
Silly little American. Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
The Stolen Earth. So
I remember that one.
Yeah. Do you?
No.
Yeah, bastard. Yeah. So
Doctor Who's for gays.
So the whole season it's been building up to Billy Piper coming back.
Oh.
And it's the season with Donna Noble, and Davros comes back, and he's moved the Earth to a different part of the galaxy.
What?
I'm gonna fucking smack you in the
I
face.
didn't say anything.
You did. So the Doctor.
You had me a Billy Piper. Why are you gonna play that song so loud? Because we want to. Because we want. That was her song, wasn't it?
What the hell are you going on about now?
It's Billy Piper's song. She was the songstress back in the day.
I'm aware of this. I've never. Anyway, so he sees Jesus Christ. He sees Billy Piper, and they're running towards each other. The Doctor gets shot by a Dalek, and the end of the episode is this is a 2-parter, not a season finale, by the way. The end of the episode is they get the Doctor back into the TARDIS, and he's like fatally wounded, and he starts to regenerate, and that's how the episode ends. And everybody was saying at the time, that is so fucking clever if they do that, because they've kept it completely quiet that we were getting a new Doctor.
All right, yeah.
And that would have been an amazing way for Tennant to go out.
Is that not how he went out?
No. No, he went on for like another year. And after that, they did 4 like seasonal specials. They were crap. They were really bad. So he should have gone out on that episode, and that would have been a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Bring Matt Smith in for the season finale.
And Billy Piper.
And obviously Billy Piper was already there.
You had me at Billy Piper.
Yeah. Because you want to, apparently.
Yeah, that's our song. Why are you going to sing that song so loud? Because we want to. I don't know what else you sang.
Nah.
Billy Piper.
Yeah, so Doctor Who. You
So-
muckle piss-takey bastard.
My number one is going to be no surprise to absolutely anybody. It's Lost.
Right.
It's season 3 of Lost.
So I'm going to struggle here. I've only seen it once.
Well, that's why I'm here. So the thing with Lost was that in season 1 and 2 and 3, the whole basis of the show was like they were lost on an island. The fucking plane had fell. They were on an island, but what they were doing was they were telling stories about that time off the island, and it was flashbacks, and it was always like, this is what they were doing beforehand. This is what they were doing beforehand, and then you get to the 2-part finale. Was it 2-part finale, or was it like the last episode and then the first episode? I think maybe in that way. So this time it was Jack Shepherd's story. He's off the island and things are a bit shit for him and all that. And you believe, you're watching it believing that it's a flashback because that's what they've been doing for 3 series. And then you get to the end of the episode and it turns out Jack actually got off the island. Jack got away from the island, he escaped, and this is a flash forward. So this, like, Lost was always a way of, like, it always had a knack of, like, doing something fresh. Like, it would do what it was doing, but then it would bring in something, like, extremely fresh. Like, I love Lost. I'll make no apologies to anyone. I know it gets shit off people. I love the end, and I love the whole fucking show. Season 2 was a bit of a damp squib, but it picked up again and it fucking started just getting better and better. But that scene when he stood on the airfield with the plane going over him and he's shouting at I think it was Kate, he's shouting at Kate, we have to go back, and you're like, what the fuck are you on about, go back? What the fuck do you mean? Why is Kate even there? She's not part of your backstory. What the fuck's going on? And then it sort of dawns on you, oh fuck, some of them go off the island. I think there's like 6 of them or 7 of them that get off the island and sort of have like time off the island, but then they all end up coming back, and it's like, oh fuck me, so we've just done flash forwards. And then like the next series, like they carried on with the sort of the flash forward thing, which I just thought was genius because we've been dealing with flashbacks for years, so now we're getting flash forwards. And then like season 5, it was sort of like a flash sideways. It was sort of like a parallel sort of thing, which I just thought, again, genius. Like, they just kept doing things like that made the show fresh. But for me, season 3 of Lost was the moment, like you know how Fight Club was the moment I stopped believing in what I was being told in movies. Season 3 of Lost, that was when I stopped believing in what I was being told in TV shows. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, TV shows are actually as good as movies. Like, they're not just cannon fodder, like something I'm going to sit there and watch for an hour every week and just be fucking numb to it, and like, yeah, the story goes along at a nice pace, but really it's just a TV show. Season 3 of Lost like destroyed everything I thought, and I thought I knew what that show was about, and it turned out I just didn't have a clue. And by the way, my top 5 at one point had 4 Lost entries.
Bit predictable.
Yeah, I know, that's why I changed it up. But yeah, Lost season 3, Through the Looking Glass, we have to go back, was just amazing.
Okay. Right. Okay, my number 1 is The X-Files.
Obviously.
And there were...
Did they do cliffhangers on X-Files?
Fucking right, they did.
Did they?
Well, they had 2-parters all over the place, and cliffhangers. This was the season finale. This was the finale of season 2. The episode is called Anasazi, and so they are investigating. It's kind of they do sort of parallels to like Holocaust and that, except they're implying that it was like aliens or something similar to aliens. And so Mulder has found a buried boxcar in the desert.
Nice.
And so he's inside the boxcar, and looking at what. Then you've got all like burned bodies and that. And so cigarette smoking man turns up.
Bastard.
I know. With a dose of soldiers, and they basically set fire to the boxcar, and that's how the series ends, with Mulder locked inside the boxcar, and it's all on fire and thing.
That was a good series ending. Angel. Do you ever watch Angel?
When he was buried under the water.
That was a good series ending. Damn.
That was good. I did have the end of season 5 of Buffy.
The Gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Impressive. Most impressive. She dead.
Was she dead? Yeah, but they brought her back.
Yeah, no, but they didn't know that at the time.
All right, okay.
Because technically at the time that was the show done.
All right, okay.
And then it got picked up.
Hate when they do that.
Stupid. Anyway, so X-Files season 2.
So did you have any other honourable mentions?
Fuck me, there's loads of them. Like this, like Star Trek Voyager and DS9 were good for 2-parters.
Voyager had a good one with the holodeck. When the holodeck sort of took over the ship, and it was like the Nazis invaded. It was like a World War II. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I always liked that. Fucking nerds.
There's bloody loads of them that you could
pick
from. So.
they were good for that. 24. I mentioned that before. 24. Fucking Terry Bauer getting killed. That was dope as fuck. One episode in 24 that really stuck out. But when I went and did some research, I thought it was like, I know 24 didn't do mid-season finales.
No,
I thought it was a 2-part.
That's the thing with 24, isn't it? They don't do 2-parters, it's like 24-parters.
It was sort of like the cliffhanger of the episode that ended when you realised President Logan was the mastermind behind the whole thing. I'll never forget that episode. That was like season 5? But that was like episode 16 or something. It was like...
Well, you could always put in season 1 where you find out that Nina Myers is the wrong one. That was episode climax.
Even though we got told that like in episode 3.
That was probably the one then.
Yeah, I loved that. That's what I loved about 24. They told us Nina Myers was the mole in episode 3, and then they convinced us she wasn't, and she fucking was, the dirty bitch.
How dare you? Take that back. We don't talk wrong about Nina Myers in this house.
I still love her. So yeah.
That was it. That's the top 5.
That was the top 5, and we will be back with another in the next episode, the next installment of 365 Flex Podcast.
Stop that.
Sorry. I'll not do it anymore. So yeah, we're gonna get going. This is a good 3-hour podcast, so we'll get going. Please remember to subscribe to us on SoundCloud, and yeah, you'll not find us. So, would you have anything you would like to say to the good listeners before we leave?
No.
You always let me down there. I always think like you do this deep breath, and I think to myself, yeah, we're gonna get some gold here, and then you go, meh. This one is meh.